Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning, as I hope and I pray that we always do. There go my sister. I want to say good morning to everybody, and this is my sister from another mother, but we got the same father. This is Zamari. Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
I'm a doing. How's everybody?
Hey, doing good, doing good. I want to ask you a question. I'm gonna start off asking you this question right here. First, is everything good? High and a happy, elephant and lady, and porcupine proud.
One of these days, I'm going to be able to say that. One of these days. No, everything's good. Everything's good. My kids are happy. Husband is
Right.
happy. I made chocolate chip cookies yesterday
Oh my
as
goodness.
per requested and as per mommy said she would. So, yes, my kids are happy. There's 3 dozen cookies sitting in there.
Oh, mommy, I got a stomach ache. Oh, mommy, I got a stomach ache.
No, because this is where good parenting comes into play because you limit your children to what they can have.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Let me ask you this question, and I want to hear your whole heart on this. As a whole, and we always talk about holistically on here. We can individualize it if we want to, but most of the time we talk as a whole. As a whole, are most people afraid? Are most people afraid of tomorrow and all that it has and all that it holds?
I'm not.
Hmm.
I mean, are we talking technically tomorrow,
Tomorrow, yes,
or
the
are we
next, no,
talking about just
future,
in the future, a
future.
year from now, or two
Yeah,
years, or whatever?
yeah. When we say tomorrow, talk about the future. Most people are afraid of the future and all that the future might have hold or setbacks or whatever it may bring. Do you think people are afraid of that?
No. Well, I mean, okay, because that's me, right? No, I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm a dreamer. I'm always looking forward to what tomorrow brings because you never know. As they say, you don't know what the future may hold or what the
Mm-hmm.
future may bring. However, I believe that yes, there are some. Sure, there's always most. There's always some percentage of people, of course, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, have you ever seen? They have these shows, or they used to anyway, about these people who had anxieties, like
Mm-hmm.
extreme anxieties about things, and fears, and those fears would or do cripple them to the point to where they just cannot function, right? And one
Mm-hmm.
of those happened to be fear of the unknown, as of
Yes.
tomorrow, of the
Mhm.
future, and they
Mhm.
just have trouble functioning. Now
Yeah.
that's an extreme circumstance, of course, and that's an extreme example, but I think it's just all in, if might not fit, but in the eye of the beholder, how you
Mm-hmm.
want to see the future, and your overall mental state, and just, are you more of a negative person or more of a positive person? Are you somewhere in the middle of with some kind of trepidation? Where do you stand in that personally? So it's a person to person thing. I'm always looking forward to tomorrow, but I know that there are absolutely people who dread what the future
Mm-hmm.
holds because they've never had anything to look forward to, and their life has been full of sorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think there is a majority out there, whatever that majority looks like, that definitely are afraid of what tomorrow brings.
How sad can that be? And you said something in what you were saying just now about they've never had any, I'm paraphrasing here, positivity in their lives, and they've lived their whole existence in a negative state. And a lot of times, I've heard people say, "Man, this is going too good. Something is about to happen. Something is about to mess up. Something is about to go terribly wrong, because it's going." And I've heard people say this: "It's going too good right now. It's going too good. This is too good. Is something is about to happen." So, Smart, why is it that a person will live their lives on the edge like that, walking on eggshells when it's good, thinking that something is about to happen, something is about to go wrong? There's got to be some disaster around the corner, but just what corner? What corner is it around? And they're looking around a corner, expecting for something negative to happen.
Okay, Raheem, you cannot ask me these questions because I believe in a lot of mystical things, if you want to call them mystical, right?
Mm-hmm.
I do believe that things come in threes.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have one bad thing happen to you, you're more than likely going to have two other things that are going to happen to you. If things are going too good, and I have experienced this where things are just so good, everything's going fantastic. And then something else will happen that goes against the grain of that. It's almost like a reality check. Like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, time to come back down to earth. So I'm always, I don't know if you want to call it superstitious. I don't consider it to be superstition, but it's just the way that my life goes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I know what to look for, right? And I know the signs of, okay, yep, all right, something's got to be getting ready to happen because this just happened over here. So I do have a certain level of awareness of myself, I
Mm-hmm.
suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Now there are some people, of course, who do live in that mindset where, okay, nope, this is going too good, and they tense
Yeah.
up and they
Yeah.
wait
Yeah.
for it, they brace for it, right? I
Mm-hmm.
don't do that. I'm just like, I expect it because I'm just so aware of how my life has gone forever. So I know there's always a pattern. If you really pay attention to your life, there's a pattern to the way that life happens for you.
Mm-hmm.
Always. There is an absolute pattern to that. So you might have a really good 6 months or a really good 5 years or whatever it is. And after that 5 year mark, there might be that one big thing that happens once every 5 years or something. You know what I'm talking about? I might not be explaining this perfect,
Yeah,
but
I do. I know what you're talking about, and it does make sense to me. But my thing is, why would a person live their life expecting? Why can't we just accept the fact that it's going great? We finally got there. We finally arrived. We finally arrived at a place. Why can we accept that instead of and it does happen instead of sitting there saying, "Well, man, this is going too good, man. It's been good for 6 months, man. Everything is going so good. Something is about to happen." And so it's almost like you're willing. It's almost like you're willing something negative to happen.
maybe. But like, okay, again, for me, because I don't know how everybody else functions, right? But for
Hmm.
me, it's I'm not expecting it necessarily. It's I'm aware of the possibility of it. So do I look around the corners? Am I checking under the bed? Am I doing all that stuff just waiting for that thing? No,
Hmm.
but I am
Hmm.
aware that that moment is around the corner.
Hmm.
Like I said, I know my life's pattern and I know how things go pretty well. Not perfect, but pretty well. So I'm like, okay, something's up.
Yeah.
But it's not to brace yourself around every corner. That's not you're living in fear. You're creating anxiety within
Yeah.
yourself, and that's not good.
Exactly.
That's
Mhm.
definitely not good to live that way. You're going to end up more miserable rather than just enjoying the moment that you have of that happiness and that joy.
Mhm. And that's where I was going. Why can't we just when it's good, we're gonna sorrow or mourn or whatever when it's terrible, when it's going bad. We're going to go through those moments. So why can't we just appreciate? Why can't we just appreciate when the times are good? Why can't we just get to a point where this is great. I'm loving this. And even if something does happen, I'm going to appreciate. I'm going to love where I am right now. Badger, what do you say to that, Badger? Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Morning, peace and blessings.
Badge, we're asking a question. Are a lot of people afraid of tomorrow? And we're talking along the lines of when something is going good, when things are going good, there are some people that say, man, this is going too good, man. Something bad is about to happen. Go, this is going too good. This is too good. So do you think people live their life in anticipation or expectation that even when it's good, something bad is going to happen?
Hmm. I would guess so.
Why?
That's what I see most people do.
Why?
You got me, man. I think it's not the. It's an interesting thing to watch from the sidelines.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, you know, to me, there's a lot involved with it too, because a lot of times the people that I've at least experienced that are like that are the ones that like to be in control.
They can't be, because they're not in control, because they're expecting something bad to happen. If they was in control, and this is just me speaking on what you said, if they were in control, or quote unquote thought they was in control or something like that, they wouldn't expect nothing bad to happen, because they'll be able to control it. No. We ain't letting that happen today. Not tonight, not today. And so that, that's why I take
Uh,
that. Go ahead with your
let me
explanation, brother.
let me control, as in controlling the way that they want to think. So
Mm-hmm.
like it's there might be a way better word fitting for what I'm
Mm-hmm. Come on, Badger.
thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
I understand. It's life. You can't. It's not possible to know everything that's coming,
Yeah, but
and
why?
it's not.
But why?
Oh,
But you're right. I love where you're going. Let me do this. But why live your life almost willing something bad to happen when things are going so good?
because control. It's illusion. All
Mm-hmm.
right. Every time there's this pattern in my life that if something good happens, something bad happens. So
Wow.
I'm just gonna make myself uh, just always prepare myself for that bad situation to happen. So I'm gonna control my thoughts to expect that all the time.
Mm-hmm. But even in that, are you fully appreciating the good thing that happened, because you're in anticipation of a bad thing coming? So you're not really appreciating the good.
When I would have to assume that is very possible. Um, and because that's just I've seen a lot of people do it, and it became such a norm in my childhood that I was just like, okay, if it happens, it happens. I don't care anymore.
Mm.
So it's hard for me to relate to something like that.
Wow. And see, and that's the thing that I'm talking about right there. A lot of times people make themselves so numb, or live in preparation of this negative thing happening to them, even when they're in a good time, in a good space and time, they're really anticipating something bad happening, because I've heard so many people say it, and I get on them too. They say all the time, man, this is going too good, man, this is too good. Something is about to happen. Something bad is going to happen. And it's like they're calling in a negative instead of
If
appreciating
you
the good things that happen.
if you want to call that stuff in, that's on you.
But they do it all the time.
I
You said
understand
you
that.
said you do it. You say you do it.
What?
You said that you do it. You said that every
No.
time, Badger, what you listen to what you said. You said that because of your upbringing, and the way you live your life, and the way you was brought up, when good things happen, you be anticipating or looking out for, or prepping yourself. You said you be prepping and preparing yourself
Oh
for
yeah,
something bad to happen.
that part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that part. Yeah.
Oh, I'm always used to people turning their backs on me at some point, or
Mm-hmm.
not be all because they don't like something I say.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
that's just it. I understand how it sounds like it's the same, but it's not. To
Mm,
me, it's an acknowledgement of what normally happens, and it's
mm.
whatever when it does.
Wow. Okay. Let me.
So
Mhm. Good deal. Go ahead. Finish your thought, brother.
it's there are some people that I have come to learn that when you reach certain points in life, certain acknowledgments, certain levels, a lot of other people end up really not liking you.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a little different from what we're
So
talking
there's
about.
always there's that's why I said,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the conversation me and you have had on it's not the same.
Okay. Let me go to Ryan. Ryan, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Doing good. How are you doing?
Hey, doing well. Why sound like you? Why sound like you in a bubble or something, brother?
I'm in my office.
y'all got some acoustics in that office, brother. But listen, are most people afraid of tomorrow? And the reason why I say afraid of tomorrow, because they get in a situation like even in good times, like me and Badge and I was talking about a second ago, and Zamar and I was talking about a little earlier. A lot of times people will say, even in good times, when things are going amazing, they're saying, "Oh man, this is going too good. Something bad gotta happen. Something bad is," and it's almost like they're calling a negative in instead of appreciating where they are in the good moments that they're in. Why do you think that is, and why do people do that?
Because that's life. Usually, life has a way of throwing you a curveball when everything's going good. You know, you think about, they always say things come in threes. So anytime I see like a celebrity or something like that die, I said, all right, who's next? It's going to be two more. And it's never been proven wrong. That's sad to say. But, you know, it's weird. Like life has this way of throwing stuff at you that you're never truly prepared for. And even when you're having those good times and everything seems to be going well and things are going great, there's always just this, for me, there's always this thing looming in the back letting me know, hey, it's good for a minute, you know, it's something finna happen. Just be prepared. It's almost like an internal preparation tool, if you will.
Yeah, but see, even with that, and this why me myself, this is the way I tackle. Everybody tackle it the way they want to tackle it. But even with me, even with that situation that you're talking about right now, I'm not sitting there looking. I'm not preparing or prepping myself. You know, if something bad happens to happen, I got to do what I got to do in my life to counteract that or to make myself go through that moment. But I'm not gonna sit there waiting and anticipating, oh man, this is going too good, man. No, I'm going to appreciate that energy that I'm in right now. I'm going to appreciate that energy that I'm in right now. I'm not going to pour in. I'm not going to try to pull any negative or counter to the energy that I'm in right now. I'm going to appreciate. I love energy, and I'm going to appreciate that energy. I'm not going to say, well,
Yeah.
Well, man, this is going too good. something has got. I'm not gonna go around telling everybody or telling people that it's going too good. Something's gonna happen. Because I've been around people, they'll say that, man, this is going too good, man. This is going too good. Something is about to happen. Something about to mess this up. Something is about to mess this up.
See,
that's negative energy. That's negative
energy. I don't wait or anticipate on the negative. Mm-hmm. I already know. So it's I'm enjoying my moments, yeah, but I already know because that's how life is. But it's like you used to be a CO, so you're sitting in booking and everything is quiet and nothing's happening, and then somebody come up to book and be like, "Man, it sure is quiet tonight," and then you get up, or at least me, I get up in their face and you say a word. What you mean? You don't use the Q word up here. That's like you using a cuss word and open the gates. And every time somebody would come up there and use the Q word, booking would get slammed with people getting brought to jail every single time. It's like the universe heard the word quiet.
But see, but and that's exactly my point. Why even put that into the atmosphere? Why even say that? Why not just appreciate that moment? Because it did not happen until somebody came in and put that negative energy into existence. So my thing is just appreciate, oh man, this is good. Let's sit back and listen, enjoy this. Oh, this is so good. But the moment, like you said, the moment somebody come in there and say, man, this is too quiet in here, man. You know, oh man, something about to break. This about the bottom about to fall out. This is too quiet. That's what happened.
Yeah.
That's what happened. Let me go to Rico. Rico, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Man, I can't complain, man. Just enjoying another beautiful new day.
Good deal. You out there walking?
Yeah. You got an echo.
Oh, okay.
Where it was, but I'm out here.
Oh, okay, good deal. Rico, I want to ask you this question, man. Do you think most people are afraid of tomorrow? Do you think most people are afraid of tomorrow? And I asked that question along these lines. they always even good time. I'm sure you heard somebody say this before, man. When it's real good, things are going very good for them. Oh man, something bad is about to happen, man. This is going too good, man. This is going too good. Something bad is about to happen. And it's like Ryan said, like they pour, instead of appreciating that the positive energy that they're in right now, they're reaching and trying to pour it in something negative in anticipation of something bad happening instead of appreciating that good energy that they're in. Why do you think people do? First, do people do that, and why do you think that happens?
Well, I think it's obvious that people do that. I mean, this is planet Earth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if anything, it should just, you know, with it being obvious that happens, it's just the plain and simple question is why do people do that?
Yeah.
And to a certain extent, I figure you would have to sort of be selfish or naive to even ask that question.
Mm-hmm.
Because people have experiences
Mm-hmm.
that dictate how they feel about things. You know, we hear stories all the time of people that grew up in very dysfunctional and abusive and oppressive situations that cause them to have a lot of despair and loss of hope. Where children or Black people worked and deserved and earned the right to have certain things, but no matter what they did, it still wasn't gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
You just wasn't gonna have opportunity to access. Then you have some little child come along and say, well, hey, one day I'm going to be the first Black president. Man, you wasting your time. Well, why you being so pessimistic? Man, you in America. Now, you might be the child of an immigrant. You might have a Nigerian father, but you will not be a descendant of a slave and the president of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Keep hope alive, though. Keep hope alive.
Mm-hmm.
Why he so pessimistic? I don't like going around him. Oh, he here, negative, negative, negative. Do you know your history, boy?
Mm-hmm.
I got a reason to feel this way. It's called precedence. And sometimes people have experiences where they know things were looking good. Then all of a sudden, somebody just pulled the rug off them under their feet, and all of a sudden, they didn't get no justice, not even from the court system. Man, I don't need to call the police. They ain't going to help you. You Black.
Mm.
I mean, you know, it ain't just because people just want to feel negative. Life done throw some curveballs, just like Ryan said. So to just, because I want it to be positive, it would be unfair and very insensitive and selfish for me to just ignore the reason why they might feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
Their experiences might not have been all positive. They might have done a lot of great things and earned and deserved to have a lot of things rewarded to them.
Mm-hmm.
That weren't rewarded to them because they didn't come from a certain place. Or maybe the parents just didn't invest that time into them, their concern. Maybe they lacked and missed out on a lot of things, basic things, that made them feel like, well, you know what? If I can't even get my daddy to teach me how to catch a ball, what's the use of me out trying to go out here and play some baseball?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got a dream of being LeBron James, but I ain't never had a basketball in my life.
Mm.
Yeah, I want to be a computer scientist. I want to be an astronaut. Mama, can I go to astronaut school? But Black folks don't go to space.
Mm.
You better go out there in that yard and pick up that damn ball.
Hey. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, but I really want to be an astronaut. I want to be a rocket scientist. I want to be a log cabin. Buy me this log cabin set, Mom. Buy me this rocket set, Mom, because I don't want no racetrack.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want no BB gun. How you gonna do it? Make a mess and leave that stuff out there? No, man, I'm throwing it away. I ain't getting it for you, but no, I really love this astronaut stuff and space stuff, Mom. So now, you know, you don't get the opportunities. You don't have the access of the exposure to things that can help you accomplish the things you want to get. Or maybe you did do the thing you were supposed to do to be rewarded and you didn't get it.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And see,
so now if I know this person is pessimistic and negative, I might be able to understand why they are that way. Only thing I could do if I'm a real friend is to show them, hey, it ain't always bad.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because for some people, it has been mostly bad.
And see, that's my position right there, man, because I love energy. I love dealing with energies and stuff like that. And I can't live in the energy of that negativity. Even if, when things are good, I want to fully appreciate the goodness of that particular moment. The blessings that come along with that particular moment. I'm not going to will anything else in. I'm going to appreciate that moment to its fullest. Now, like I said earlier, if something bad
I
happened and if something bad would have happened, and a lot of times, like y'all said, to y'all point, a lot of time it do happen. But when it does happen, that's when I have to do what I have to do to get that negativeness away from me so I can get back to the positive and continue to live in that positive. I can't exist. I don't want to in that, nor will I exist in that negativity. I can't.
and that's good. That's good for you.
Mhm.
But what about that person that's going through that trauma and responds in that dysfunctional way? How does that affect them?
Mhm.
How do you help them when they are the ones traumatized? See, you ain't traumatized, so you ain't feeling it.
Mhm.
So the only thing you know is I don't want to feel that energy.
Mhm.
But whether they need the help, you don't need the help.
Mhm.
See, obviously the problem is with them, so you got to take yourself out of the situation.
Mhm.
Yeah, you wish you could be positive, but now you understand that this person right here, they don't see the joy in it because they're so traumatized.
Mhm.
They've been so stained,
Mhm.
to the point of where they got this negativity built in, and it's hard for them to have a positive outlook when they done lost their whole family in a plane crash.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Now, something like that, you have to be compassionate. You have to be very compassionate and understanding. But at the same time, I'm still going to feed them as much positive as I can. Even in that situation right there, man, you lost your whole family in a plane crash. That's traumatic. That's total. That's total trauma. But at the same time, come on, man. Let's go over here for a minute now. Let me take you over here, hang out for a little bit. Let's go over here and let's go eat, man. I know you haven't eaten. You ate today? No. Nah, man. Come on, man. Let's go over here, hang out for a few minutes, man. Let's go get something to eat. And while you
See, now that understanding is totally different because
Yeah.
now that's showing that you are understanding and it ain't bothering you as much. The reason why they pessimistic. See, at first it was all about you, but
Mhm.
now you don't flip it around and it's all about them. Well, hey, let me think about how they feel. At first you were talking about how you feel. I don't like this energy. I hate that. Don't
Yeah,
bring that
yeah.
around here.
It's still the same though. It's still the
But
same
now
with me. No, it's still the same
yeah,
with
but
me.
you
It's
yeah, but then you turn it around and you made it about them.
Mhm.
So when you made it about them, then your opinions and your actions change a little bit
Well,
because you understand
I
that
don't I
these
don't
people receive it that way for a certain reason. So let me give them some attention
Mhm.
and take myself out of it.
Okay. But see, my thing is I don't I see what you're saying and I can see the view that you're coming from, but my stance stays the same though. It's still that energy. I don't want that energy in me. Now, I will do what I could do to help somebody else, but I'm still not gonna. Even if I go and we sit down and we eat together, go eat lunch together, dinner together, or whatever, I'm not gonna sit there and be a partaker in the pity party. I'm gonna always shift the. I'm gonna shift the every chance. I'm gonna shift the conversation. I'm gonna shift the conversation, and I'm gonna shift the conversation to something positive instead of just letting them live and wallow in the negative. Yes, it's a terrible situation. Absolutely, absolutely, it is. But I'm gonna change every chance I get. I'm gonna change the conversation. I'm gonna change the conversation. I'm gonna change the conversation. Not saying that we're not gonna talk about what happened in their life because they probably need somebody, a friend, to talk to. And so I will listen, but at the same time, but man, you know what? Blase, blase. Then I throw some. I throw some positive. I throw some positive. There. Let me go to Captain Leonard. Captain Leonard, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning? Good point, Dorico. Real good point.
Good morning, Raheem, and the Morning Glow family.
We talking about, and good to have you, brother. We're talking about most people afraid of tomorrow, or most people afraid of tomorrow, and we're talking about along the lines of a lot of times, Leonard, when you something is going real good in somebody's life, something is going real good, is going almost perfect. I've heard people say, man, this is going too good, man. This is going too good, man. Something is about to happen, man. Something about to pop off, man. Cause this is going too good, man. And it's almost like they're willing negative energy to come in, and say, I can't live that way, Leonard. I'm pushing it out, and the negative energy got to go. I don't want it around me. No, no, Leonard. Why do you think a lot of people do that?
Because no one knows what tomorrow holds, and that's a big issue as it relates to things like anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that is. Anxiety is worrying about the future.
Mm-hmm.
I have those issues
Mm-hmm. Okay.
constantly. They
Mm-hmm. Okay.
never stop.
Mm-hmm. How do you
So
deal with it,
one,
Leonard?
there always has to be positivity
Mm-hmm.
that is priority.
Mm-hmm.
I could care less what anyone says.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna sit around with you and be miserable. I'd rather sit alone if that's the
Mm-hmm.
case. I don't need no help to feel bad.
Yeah.
or have a bad time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't constantly sit back, like somebody would say, and return to vomit.
Mm-hmm.
Makes no sense. I'm sure I've had horrible days. As a
Yeah.
matter of fact, I know I have,
Mm-hmm.
but they behind me.
Yeah.
They
Those two
behind
should
me.
pass. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you know, this notion of no hope, pessimism, determinism, all these types of things that people want to doom other people with. Some people are intent on being miserable.
Mm-hmm.
Let them.
Wow. Wow.
Let them. Don't be
So
with them.
Leonard, you're saying that some people just love wallowing in
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Some people love that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to learn how to come out from among them.
Mm-hmm.
Let the world folk be world folk.
Mm-hmm.
People that depend on what the world gonna say and what the world gonna do, and the world. As Christians, we should have a better foresight
Mm-hmm.
because we should have a better hope, and we have more faith than that. We might be in the world, but we're not of the world. I'm sure people have been taught that who are Christian people.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to make sure that one, you really into what you say, because that's usually how you live and how you think about it. Don't nobody want to be around a person that ruins a good time.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, if you that person, you are no longer invited to my parties.
Hey, Leonard, back in the day, we said back in the day, we said, man, you gotta go, man. You ruining my high, man.
Bro,
You
I will put you out. Ain't nobody come here for that.
yeah.
Every time somebody say something good, you say something bad.
Mm-hmm.
Before we wind up in debt, I'm gonna stop fooling with you.
Mm-hmm.
And every
Wow.
and the people have to realize, don't let other people bring you down. I don't care how much bad stuff. I can be sitting there. I've sat in front of several people in counseling
Mm-hmm.
that come for help with horrible situations, just terrible. But you know what? I used to do that to help them, not to make myself miserable.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going. Why would I look like every single day rehearsing what happened at my mother's funeral?
Mm.
She wouldn't even want me to do that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you never know. The day changes from one day to the next. Everybody that woke up yesterday and wake up today.
Mm-hmm.
But that don't mean they worse off neither. Even in death, there's positivity.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that if you're looking for it. But
Yeah.
those people that want to be miserable, let them be. Just
Mm.
don't be one of them.
Wow. Let me go to Brother Pete this morning. Brother Pete, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Doing good, DKM Radio Morning Glow panelists and artists. How y'all doing this morning?
Hey, doing good, doing good. We're talking about do some people worry about tomorrow? Meaning that even when times are good, man, you got some people that will sit there, man, and they will in a negative energy, talking about, man, this is going too good, man. This is too good, man. Something is about to happen, man. Y'all get ready. It's coming, or it's coming. Something is about to happen. Why do people do that?
It's self-sabotaging behavior,
Mm-hmm.
sabotaging behavior. Um, the book says, "As a man thinketh, so is he." Right,
Mm-hmm.
woman for that matter. So we're not understanding the reality of our existence internally, spiritually, ecclesiastically, right? And how we speak things. We are in control more than we realize.
Mm-hmm.
Life and death is in the power of the tongue, right? So sometimes you can have a casual disposition, and you may have lightheartedness in some of these statements, so the energy is not there.
Mm-hmm.
But then in other cases, you can have a negative disposition, a negative mentality, right? It's what was the old cartoon? We're never gonna make it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's sometimes people take on these, they possess these, their position in life, their experience in this life, has them at a point where they're cynical and
Mm.
everything is a degree of negativity, not realizing you creating your own reality with what you speaking out your mouth.
Yeah.
The thought is one thing, but when you speak it, that's the foundation and formation in creating it in reality.
Mhm.
And then you end up acting on it. So you see the bad, fine, beautiful, sexy, curvy figure woman, you see her, and then your mind goes to, and then the action follows through,
Mhm.
and then it goes where it goes, right? So we
Wow.
need to be taught a little different, and we need to comprehend more seriousness in the reality of what we speak,
Mhm.
and especially negative. It takes a positive and a negative to make the connection. Remember that now.
Mhm. Exactly. Samara, talk to me.
I love the way he talks sometimes because it's always like at the end there, the way he said, "Remember that now." He talks. But I don't know. I had to step away for a minute. So are we still on the same subject, same
Yes.
line
Yes.
of thought here? Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he just said it too with the power in our words, right? There's power in your words, and I am a firm believer that you absolutely, like we've been saying, oh, never mind. I got distracted. You can speak it into existence. Sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second.
Mhm.
Speaking that thing into existence, and that's something with I do sometimes. I catch myself doing it sometimes, right? And then of course love my husband. Thank God for my husband because he'll correct me on it. He goes, "Why are you speaking that?" But then I do the same thing with my children. Children will be children, kids will be kids. They will say things sometimes just out of, anger in the moment or frustration or whatever. And they might say something completely off color because they're mad at their sibling. Like, I don't even know, just something ridiculous. Like, saying something about one of their siblings getting hurt or dying even, and I'm just like, no, don't see that.
Yeah.
And I've
Yeah.
had to, continuously and repetitively show them or teach them, we don't speak those things, because what if something did happen, then you would feel bad
Mhm.
because you said that thing, right? Don't, and I tell them, I'm like, take it back now.
Yeah.
You got to
Exactly.
retract what you
Yeah.
just said. You cannot,
Mhm.
do not speak that. Don't give that life.
Mhm.
So it's the same thing, like when we're like with what you're talking about with this whole, waiting for something to happen because so much good has been going on and positivity and all of those things, right? And no, you don't speak it into existence. You don't go, oh, something bad is going to happen. But like I said, for
Mhm.
myself, I'm bracing for it in a way where I not necessarily bracing for it, but I'm aware of it's around the corner. Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
looking for it, but I'm not actively seeking it out. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? I'm
Mhm.
prepared for it, I guess is the better term. I'm prepared for that thing, but I'm not actively seeking it out. I'm not speaking it and giving it life, breathing life into that thing. And I don't know how I think that's for a lot of people, I think they have to learn they have to train themselves out of that negativity. And
Mhm.
that was something I definitely had to do. And I'm still learning to do that because I still catch myself in that negativity sometimes, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you do have to learn how to train yourself out of that. And absolutely, like Rico said, with the trauma, some people don't understand how to do that because they've had all of this bad stuff constantly happening to them. And so for them, there is no positive. All
Mhm.
they've ever had is that negative, right? So like what you said with, let's go grab a meal. Let's go do this. We can talk about that thing. So giving that positivity into their life eventually over time has the power to transform their thought patterns and
Mhm.
change the way that their perceptions work and everything. So it's just I think at the end of the day, what you're asking and what we need to do as human beings is we need to be more compassionate,
Yeah.
and more understanding, and create that positive atmosphere in people's lives who don't have that, so that they can learn how to use that for themselves so that they're empowered.
Wow, that's good. That's good. Captain, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Hey, good morning, Raheem, and to my Morning Glow family.
We asked no question. We asked no question this morning, and I want to hear your heart on this. Are some people afraid of tomorrow? And I'm asking that question along these lines right here. When things are going real good, when things are going very good in somebody's life, they could actually sit there and say, man, this is going too good, bro. This is going too good. Something bad is about to happen. I promise you, something bad is about to happen. Almost like they're willing in negative instead of appreciating the positive place where they are right now. Why do you think people do that?
Well, I'm trying to say that again. I want to really get the gist of what you're saying.
A
I
lot,
can understand the
a lot of times what happens is when things are going good in somebody's life, it's almost like they're in expectation of something negative happening. Instead of appreciating the good times, they'll say, man, this is going too good, man. This is going way too good. Something bad is about to happen. Something bad is about to happen. It's almost like they can't appreciate or are not appreciating the positive or the good moment that they're in, the good energy that they're in. It's like they're looking for the negative energy to come in and overtake the positivity. It's like they're willing something bad to happen in their lives. Why do you think people do that?
Okay. Well, well, to be honest with you, we used to call that an old slave mentality, because all life you believe you've been taught that you're not supposed to have nothing good in this life, but you're supposed to get your heaven when you're dead. And so some people believe that when something good happens to them, death is near, you know, because I'm not supposed to have nothing good. That is a real inferior type of thinking. For anyone believes that because good come to you, something bad is coming right behind the good. You know, there's an old saying, after the blessing comes the testing. You know, Allah always tests us. You know, it says, do men think they will be left alone saying they believe and not be tried and tested? Surely we tried and tested those before you. And we also thought that your children would become your test. Your test will become wealth. Your test will become popularities. And these will be the things that would be tested. Well, if we get successful in life and we believe that, you know, we're not appreciative of the success and we believe that something bad is going, that is really a inferior mindset. The sad thing, dear brother, is that, you know, we live in a society that does not reinforce positivity. Many of us have family members or live in households where, you know, you have parents that reinforce positivity, and then you also have households where you have parents that does not reinforce positivity. It all depends on what kind of environment or home that you grow up in. We all know that you can look at single parenting homes and a mother struggling to make ends meet. She's not that educated, and unfortunately she got 2 to 3 baby daddies, and you know, and so she passes on the negativity to her children. Let me give you a good example. This just happened to me yesterday. You know, I have a family member that want to give their child a name that has meaning. And he asked the name, he looked the name up, they had a dream, and the name meant, you know, wise counselor. And everything was positive about the name. And the father wanted, he's a young father, he wanted to name his son, who ain't born yet, that name. But here's the sad part. You could take a name with a great meaning, but if you do not guide that child into the name, so you can't say your name means wisdom and your child is dumb and is all outdoors. You know?
Yeah.
You know, if you're not guiding them into wisdom, you're not guiding them into knowledge, you beating them down every time. Boy, you stupid. But then he got a name that means wisdom. So I realized that we are very ignorant when it raise our children to be positive. So when things of positivity come to them, they expect it, they deserve it, and guess what? They claim it. But it's sad because everything you look at on social media, it's almost like ignorant is a choice today. And there is no reason why we should be ignorant and making ignorant decisions when you have so much knowledge, so many brilliant teachers out there on social media. But the reason why we continue, because ignorant is easy. To be nobody don't require nothing.
Yeah.
And so therefore, I do believe, dear brother, that we have to be able to create the kind of positive reinforcement like we're doing on this show. But we have to create the positive reinforcement in our communities.
Yeah.
We have to be able to give our young people a better way of life by giving them something to strive for. But when you look in the hood, man, it does not reflect positivity. Look in the hood. So if we want to start somewhere, well, let's start creating an environment that reflects the positive thoughts that would elevate our young people, that you don't have to live the life that you live. Look over here in this community. Look at it. Oh, I love that. So I guess I went a little further than what you asked, but I hope I answered your question, dear brother.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
I think it's good to understand what Captain Dennis said, because you have to. I would say this is the closest thing: is get yourself together.
Yeah.
Straighten yourself up. We often talk about in the Christian community the story of the prodigal son. It wasn't nobody telling him nothing. He came to himself and realized he wasn't living up to his potential. But he knew where he could get back on track. See, a lot of people deny that because it takes so much work to get things. Think about folks who have really made messes in their lives. Messes like had babies by folks they didn't love. You probably don't did some time in jail. All types of things that happen. You gonna stay there in that same mindset for the rest of your life? I mean, it's at some point, like people will say, well, it ain't that easy. Never said it was easy, but you do want to get better, don't you? Like I say, you do want to be healed, don't you? Because if you don't, let me know. I kick the dust off my feet and keep moving.
Yeah.
But what we got to stop doing is we got to stop just thinking that it's all good. I never really liked that phrase. And it became it's all good. And we were saying that a whole generation, and look at us. It wasn't all good. A lot of it was just terrible. But when you get to the point where everybody wants to go the way of the world, where do you think the desired outcome is? It's not that I want everybody in the world to be Christian, but I would want everybody to treat everybody else decently, or at least as you would like to be treated.
Exactly.
All that other stuff people fighting about and all this other stuff, you should seek resolution. It say, blessed are the peacemakers, not the ones that just want to continue to always be in a fight, always come with something terrible. You ever had a conversation, you trying to make amends, and then somebody, after real good work has been done, somebody come and say, but I still say.
Yeah.
Or, well, I just need to say this. We just found the bad apple in this barrel.
Exactly. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. We're talking about our conversation today, and we're gonna switch up in a little bit. Are we afraid of tomorrow? Do people always anticipate, even in good times, anticipate something bad or something negative happening? Badger, you say you had something?
Yeah, this topic's actually brought something to my mind that I've been thinking about for a couple of weeks.
Stay on topic now.
It is just a different direction.
It's not on topic, Dan. Go ahead. That's not on topic, brother. Go ahead.
Folks, a lot of folks in America live in insanity, continuing to do the same thing and expecting a different outcome,
Mm-hmm.
like trying to prepare themselves for what's to come.
Mm-hmm.
It's re-electing the same human beings into the same positions, expecting a different outcome.
Mm-hmm.
That is insanity. And the part that drives me, the part that gets me the most is it's almost like folks expect it by electing or doing the same thing over and over, that a different outcome will happen. And it's an interesting observation looking at the situations. It's interesting to see a majority of people live like that.
Mm.
Or so and I don't know, I suppose there are ways for a person to get out of that, but that would require acknowledgement within oneself that they are living like that.
Mm-hmm. So
That
basically, people don't want to acknowledge the fact that they're in a bad situation.
I really don't think people do.
Mm.
People refuse therapy, people refuse
But
to acknowledge.
Bad, you got to understand too, and I don't mean to cut you off, but you got to understand too. A lot of times, people don't recognize it because that's all they've ever known. If a person is growing up in a terrible situation, and that's all they've known their whole life, and they think a lot of times they'll think it's normal. Everybody lives this way. This must be the way that everybody lives because this is the only life that I've known. And so
So
you got to be real careful as to how we got to be real careful how we deal with this part of the conversation right here, because a lot of we can't tell them that they're wrong. It's wrong the way that they're living. We can say that much, but that's all they know. That's all they know.
well, I agree and I disagree. Because if I've learned anything about walking a spiritual path, there's always these opportunities or these situations that appear in people's lives that can provide them a door and all they have to do is walk through.
Not always, brother. I love your heart. I love your heart and where you're coming from with this, but not always. That's not always a reality, brother.
That's very Christian, Badger. That's very Christian in concept, in nature, and that's the goal. That's the goal.
Yeah, that is a goal, but is that reality though? Does everybody have that door? No, no, they don't.
When I hear people talking about what ain't going on and what happening, and you don't know this and you don't know that, turn on the TV. That's how easy it is.
No, Leonard.
So,
Leonard, that's not true.
The whole world is like this. The whole world can't possibly be like that. Can't possibly be that.
But my thing is, brother, when you find somebody that's in a situation, see, I don't know where y'all coming from with this, because I could say that I've met people, I know people that has been in a terrible situation, man, and they think that that's what it is. I've seen people that we've had conversation with people even on this broadcast where they talk, either themselves or other people had been in terrible situations, and they didn't know that there was another way. They thought that
had been in those situations.
If a person is raised in a situation, raised up in a situation, a very negative situation, and they're, I ain't gonna say trapped, but they feel as though they're trapped or they're living that existence. But you can't tell me that they just live in that existence because they want to. Nobody wants to be hurt.
They want to.
But my thing is right here. No, you did not say that they want to, but at the same time, you cannot say I don't think, this is just me talking. I could be totally wrong. Well, I don't think that you could tell a person that there's a door right there. Just walk through that door and you ain't gotta be in this pain. You ain't gotta hurt no more. Nah, man. It don't always work that way. Sometimes the people cannot find the door. You know, I mean, there's so many different elements that goes into this whole situation, this whole scenario. Rico, talk to me, brother. Rico, you there?
Yeah, after a while, it starts sounding like we don't want to admit chaos, confusion, and trauma exists.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that ain't no trauma. You'll be all right. Just straighten up, tighten up, pull up your bootstraps. But as far as I know, we products of our environment. When did that stop? Products of our environment.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have lessons that we have to live by. You know, sometimes we hear this thing called, there's a pro and a con to everything. But for some reason, human beings like to flip that switch off after they hear it, because most human beings suffer from short-term memory. They don't have long-term memory. Yeah, they don't have long-term memory. They just remember what's just immediately happened.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I look at this situation. This sort of sounds like parents just don't understand. For the past month or two, we've been hearing about these teenagers having parties after the prom and this and that, and getting shot up. But for the past few years, it's been going on. Predominantly black schools, having graduations, turning to shootouts. Good occasions turning to bad. Unexpected. Leonard said it earlier. The unexpected. You don't know what's going to happen unless you had a premonition. And unless you used to seeing that them premonitions come true, you don't know what to expect. Because there's a pro and a con to everything. We've seen people win the lottery, celebrate, be happy, and think that the rest of their life they was going to be good. Then you get in with them about 5 years later, and their life turned totally upside down. That money was the worst thing that could have happened to them. Mm-hmm. They didn't expect that. If somebody would have told them, hey, man, you better be careful. You're like, man, you're just being negative. I don't want no negative party poopers around me. Get out my party. No, man, I'm just trying to let you know. So now here it is. Graduation night. For the last month, we've been watching these little black kids shoot up each other party and then bury 3 or 4 people at a time, from Alabama to Mississippi. Now, your child want to go to a party. Well, baby, I think we just want to have you your own party here. Why I can't go party with my friends? What the party going to be at? It's going to be a certain house. No, I don't think that'd be a good idea, because the atmosphere nowadays, you don't know what to say. You're always thinking negative, mama. That's why I hate y'all. Well, wait a minute, this graduation, we just celebrate. But they want to go to that party that bad.
Mm-hmm.
You're thinking negative. You're being pessimistic. No, I'm thinking about experience. I'm thinking about the atmosphere, the environment, and what's going on these days. And I'm thinking about taking precautionary measures just in case this might turn out the same way, because we don't know. We don't know what to expect. I can only imagine having a friend that was maybe a victim or a witness at that Las Vegas shooting, mm-hmm. and then inviting them to a concert and expecting them to be calm and patient, mm-hmm. without looking around and looking up in the rafters. You ever heard somebody say, well, you know what, man? I mean, this is the culture we live in. How have some people been rewarded for marching and standing for peace? They got killed violently. I wonder, did they expect that? But that's the world we live in. So if somebody was to come and tell you, boy, you better shut up. They're going to fire you. Boy, you better be quiet. They're going to kill you. You talking about peace? That war machine is going to come after you. You got too much of a platform. Slow down, brother. Mm-hmm. Man, you know what? You just being negative. I'm going to be all right. I got God on my side. Everybody going to kill me. Okay, well, what about Martin Luther King Jr. and John F. Kennedy? They don't even care about your color, boy. Mm-hmm. Man, there you go. You being negative. I don't need no negatives around me. You know, I told you about the time that I saved that little kid that fell into that hot tub. Mm-hmm. I had that gut feeling, that funny feeling. But, you know, I went ahead and went along with it. There were different times I had car accidents. Some told me, don't leave the house today. Don't leave the house today. But I'm like, man, there you go. You thinking negative. You being pessimistic. Leave out the house. Don't go a mile from my house. Have a wreck. Mm-hmm. With the police.
Wow.
I knew something was going to go wrong. You know, sometimes you have to go with that, the pessimistic sense feelings, them spidey senses, them little gut feelings. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they might be negative sometimes. See, if I had not gone to that little get together that day, and then had that premonition about that little boy falling into that hot tub and being standoffish and letting everybody else mingle and pay attention to the adults while I seen they was kissing bud and not paying attention to that child would be dead now. But my negative, pessimistic feeling that something bad was going to happen made me stay outside and pay attention to the child, because I just had a funny feeling that these adults and his parent wasn't paying attention to him the right way. And I saw this boy fall into the hot tub 30 minutes before he did it.
Mm-hmm.
Was that being negative or pessimistic, or was that like being prepared for the unexpected and knowing the environment around you, being aware of the environment around you, and knowing the risk and the dangers that are involved? See, sometimes you have to be aware of the risk and the dangers to protect people. But sometimes they want to have so much fun and want to do what they do, get their reward so bad that they overlook the risk and the dangers, and would then push anybody away that's bringing that negativity, that negative energy to existence.
Wow. And so
that's how simple-minded we get. So sometimes parents just don't understand.
Wow. And see, and I love, and this is way out Wednesday today, but you know, and it's, I know it's going to get a little testy. It might get a little testy here, but at the same time, man, we're dealing with all angles of this different thing, man. And so I love the fact that we coming at it from different angles, which is I think is a good thing. Ryan, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me. Ryan, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I had to turn the Wi-Fi off. I'm far away from my office.
Talk to me, brother. What's on your heart?
Yeah, man. Like my wife just said in chat, prepare for the worst, expect the best. That's most people's MO, I guess, nowadays. If I remember correctly, I used to talk about, I guess you would call it a parable in the Bible, because it seems like one, where they talk about the oil lanterns and making sure you got oil or you finna be left in the dark, basically. And to me, that's one of those ones where I sat and analyzed it for a long time. I'm like, this is basically a statement to be prepared for the worst at all times. And you know, it just seems like that, right? Like we've had certain conversations on the show where I'll go out and try to have a good time with my wife, but I got to sit down at the table facing the door because I don't know who's finna walk through that door.
Yeah.
We're out here trying to have a nice meal, and I'm enjoying myself. Huh?
Our trannies with you.
Okay. But I'm waiting for someone to walk to that door and do something dumb, and then I'm gonna have to retaliate and do something even worse. So you know, I guess it's really just for me, staying on guard is a mindset, and that's the way I've always been because of my upbringing. You know, I walk out the door growing up as a kid, I got to look both ways, not because I'm looking for a car, but I'm looking for the next person to jump me because I'm not supposed to be in this neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? So I guess that's my upbringing, right? Even when I would be out here in the suburbs with my grandparents, it was the same effect around people who have the same skin tone as me.
So you
they
took
treat me different.
You took it everywhere you went. It became
because no matter where I went, I was treated exactly the same. If I was in the hood back home where I grew up, I was getting jumped because the way I look. Come out here to the suburbs, they want to fight because I came out here from the hood. They want to see what I'm about. So it was a constant battle of stay on your guard. Nobody's got your best interests at heart except for your grandparents. Not even your mama got your back.
Wow.
And that was true.
There's so many layers on this thing here, man. There's so many layers on this thing. Let me go to Brother Pete. Pete, what's on your heart? And then we're gonna go to Willow.
I almost want to give my brother two, 3 of my minutes because he said even his mother did have his back. So then the next question would be, how did that affect him, and how does that affect him currently? And they go to proof of some of the statements that's been made. The question was, state it again, please.
Do
Why do people always
expect in a nutshell, why do all people always looking for or expect the negative to happen, even in positive times?
Right. Yeah. And it like I say, it's the illusion of real confusion. That's what it is. Or another part of it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you sit down for a second within yourself, if you're at a point in life where you can even ask yourself this question, what point of your life do you not want to enjoy? But are we asking ourselves that question? Are we even trained to ask ourselves that question? Because that can set us on the foundation to understand that, listen, you could call me all kind of stuff, disrespect me and all that, but it's on me how I interpret that though.
Mm-hmm.
Because I might hear you saying I'm the greatest person you ever met in your life. Not that I'm the nothingest person you ever met, but I'm hearing you say you so concerned and enraptured with my fantastic, wonderful existence that I stay on your mind.
Mm-hmm.
So all that mess that you was projecting missed me, right? Because I refuse to receive it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the power that you have. But are we taught that? Are we conscious of that? Why are we always in the doomsday mentality? Well, there's forces, spiritually and naturally, at work at the same time. When two people are in each other's presence, it's something that's always taking place. One is influencing the other.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way it is. But are you aware of that? You see what I'm saying? Are you conscious of that? We had a genre called rhythm and blues. Rhythm and blues. Rhythm, a beat, right? A sound at a certain tone, a certain pace, certain volume, and blues. Oh, baby, I miss you so.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Lord.
But is it negative or is it positive?
Maybe you've never been in love like I've been in love. Maybe you never felt the things that I felt.
I love you. I love you.
Lord
I
Jesus.
can't live without you. Really? Can't? Come on.
Mm-hmm.
See, is it a setup? I love a whole bunch of the music, so let's be clear. But my point is, I interpret it the way I interpret it, right? But it's still the point being made is, was it a negative element to the music?
Mm-hmm.
When you get into the science of music, I'm telling you it is. It is, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then how's that affecting you?
Yeah.
You turn on some jazz, it might have you put your feet up. You turn on some real gospel music, not this hollering and screaming disco gospel they have out today. You know what I'm saying? Because I can play a lot of this gospel music in the club right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you pretty much wouldn't even know the difference. We just talking about the Lord. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Wow.
Put on some real gospel music. It's gonna calm your spirit.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Right? I could put on some Iron Maiden and some Black Sabbath, and it's gonna rile up your spirit.
Mm-hmm.
See, I could put on some country western and a true country western, and it's gonna have you wanting to get close to your woman.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You put on some old school, R&B, right? It's 70s, the early 80s, late 60s. Boy, you about to make love to a woman straight up.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying?
Yes,
The motivations of it.
Absolutely.
So now, how much more so in society? How much more so in a functioning system? How much more so in ecclesiastical existence, the spirit realm? And then you not knowing that you are ultimately the God of yourself. Up under the God. You a God of yourself.
Wow.
And allowing others and other things to control you. And then if you don't even have that knowledge, how bad is that?
Mm-hmm.
Because I could tell you, it's going to end today! And you like, ah! Huh?
Good tell. Good. Stay right there, preacher. Stay right there, preacher. We got to keep this thing going. Zamar, are you okay over there? Can't hear you.
Sorry, I muted both mics, the ones on the screen and then mine. No, I'm just enjoying his take on it. He's got this extreme theatrical side, and I love it. I love it about him.
He'll scare you. He'll scare you all of a sudden. You say, "And you got him."
I love it though. I love what
my
he
brother.
brings to the table.
Yeah.
I love it.
Absolutely.
Bye, babies. I love you guys. I don't even know where we are. I was so enraptured with what he was going out with all that.
Listening, but won't even hearing. Lord, my Jesus. Lord, my Jesus. Let me
I'm
go.
listening. I mean, so I don't know. He threw me off. He completely threw me off. I don't know. I don't know. It's a good topic though. You know, it really is. This is a great topic. But I mean, you know, to man, when we don't even know if we're coming or going anymore, if we're up or we're down, left or right, you know, I mean, we got that. This is where the balance of it all comes in. How to balance these things out in our life.
Absolutely.
We have to do that. And we say we have to, but every individual has to learn how to do that for themselves. No one else can teach you that. We can tell you how we do it.
Yeah.
You can have 20 different people tell you how they do it, but are any one of those 20 things going to work for you? Or is it going to be a piece from each of those and you put that together to create what works for you? We all got to find that balance in some way, somehow, in order to level ourselves out to where we're not caught up so much in the chaos of what's around the corner. And we still have our piece of enjoying the moment right now. That's what we got to do. You know, I mean, but you can't teach that. That's something you have to learn yourself.
Exactly. And Willa, I did not forget you, Miss Willa. I just saw Zamari on a video, and she had this look on. I said, let me go see what's going on with Zamari right now. And so that's why I didn't come to you. But Willa, what do you say to this whole situation? We're talking about are we afraid, or most people are afraid of tomorrow? Meaning, do they live their lives even in good times when things are going absolutely amazing? You'll hear them say, "Man, this thing going too good. It's going too good. Something bad about to happen. Something bad is about to happen." And they live their life in anticipation, wishing and hoping and looking out for the negative, even when there's positive energy around them. Why do people do that, Willa?
So what you're saying is, why do they live in fear?
Basically, yes.
They live in fear because they live in fear because of they don't have any faith in what God can do for them. And I'm saying that because of the times that we're living in. We're living in those perilous times now more than ever. And it has been spoken in God's word. If you go into 2 Timothy and you read that, I want you to read the whole chapter, not just the scripture. Because we're in those times. We're in perilous times. And I was listening to Rico. Those things just didn't haphazardly happen. First of all, Rico was obedient. He was obedient to the word. I remember that one time when he told me he was sitting at a bar and some man just came up to him talking. That didn't just happen haphazardly.
Yeah.
God set that in place for it to happen. Our problem is that our disobedience took us out of the realm and the order of what God set before us. He already told us, pre-warned us, Raheem.
Come on.
That we're living in a supernatural world. This is a spiritual world. And he gave you the tools and the armor to have in order to live in this world where you don't have to be fearful about a man that can take your physical body, but he can't take your soul. He tells you that. He said, don't be afraid of the man that can physically take your body. He said, but be afraid of the one that can take not only the physical, but also the soul. And we don't listen because why? Again, we can choose how to live how we want to, even though the one who made us and told us what we're supposed to do, we are disobedient. When we hear his voice, we don't know it's his voice because we don't have a relationship with it. If you had a relationship with it, you'll know what he's saying, how his voice sounds when he's talking to you. He pre-warns us all the time, Raheem. I know. He said, don't go down south. southeast. You go down there all the time. This time, take that round turn.
Yeah.
And go that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on the news, you hear, man, it was a shooting on southeast.
Yep.
And you be like, wow,
Mm-hmm.
I almost went there. And you never thought or took it to the fact that God saved you because he wasn't ready for you.
Mm-hmm.
So don't live fearful, because I've seen on the news where people were in their own home, not bothering nobody, and bullets came in the window or came in the walls and killed somebody.
Mm-hmm.
One man was on the second floor in his shower, and a car went all the way up to the second floor, and it was an accident. He
Wow.
in the shower.
Wow.
So no, you can't live fearful. You gotta live by faith.
Mm-hmm.
The Bible says in Galatians 5, you go in there and say, how you gonna walk? Are you gonna walk in the flesh, or are you gonna walk in the spirit?
Mm-hmm.
Well, in the spiritual world, I want to walk in the spirit where I can't see those things that's around me that's gonna harm me and do things to me. I got somebody to do it for me.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
That's what's on my heart right here.
Good deal. Good deal. Now watch this. Watch this. Captain, talk to me, brother. You're gonna, why you call me out the way?
What is it? You know, I mean, I just got to. I mean, she should just drop the mic. All Willa need to do is just drop the mic.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
just need to wrap it up and all of us go home. You know, I mean, listen. What I love about my sister, she gonna bring you scripture, man. She's not gonna go and say nothing that is not backed by the word.
Mm-hmm.
When I was listening to my sister, I mean, let me tell you something. My man Pete, brother Pete, listen. You are one of the greatest announcers. If I started something, I need you to announce my program, I'm gonna get brother Pete because he got that voice.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, if we need somebody to really put a video of it, you know, I mean, we have on the line some most brilliant minds that I do believe that has been assembled.
Mm-hmm.
I have learned from my experience that I had to see God for the first time. I do, but you know, I don't know, maybe because now I have a great appreciation for life, all right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm able to see God in everybody now.
Yeah.
And when I see God in everybody, it makes me appreciate that there's nothing is done by chance.
Mm-hmm.
I believe everybody on here, every time Rico tells us of some great work or some great thing that he's done to save somebody's life, that is not by chance.
Yeah. Yeah.
That means Rico is somebody to me, to God.
Mm-hmm.
He's somebody to God.
Yeah.
And even though he may not believe that, or maybe we put too much on ourselves, and we have a problem accepting who we are as it relates to our role in life with God. But the people that's on this line, it's not a coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a coincidence. That means we have on this line brilliant men and women who have solutions to problems that people are going through.
Yeah.
Now, how do we take what you say? How do we take everything that you say and use this brilliant mind? The first thing came to my mind, Brother Raheem, is if we say we believe in God, and we say we do,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, men judge you by your mind, but God judge you by your heart.
Yes. Absolutely.
The mind don't rule the heart rules the mind.
Mm-hmm.
So the Bible says you got to love God with all your heart.
Come on.
You hear me? See, you can fake it. So it makes no difference who you are, what your persuasion, what you say you believe in. God judge you by what's in your heart.
Mm-hmm.
These are some good-hearted people on this line.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And therefore, we have the opportunity to create an environment that represents our heart. If
Mm-hmm.
we don't get to the business of establishing the kingdom of God right here on earth, then we are just what you call hearers of the words. We're not doers of the word.
Mm-hmm.
You see? If
Exactly.
you keep saying, well, there's a saying among the Muslims, I'm going to say this. We have a lesson that says, when you sit at home and wait on a mystery God to bring you food, and the lesson, the answer is emphatically no. Emphatically no. Me and my people have waited over 300 something years for Mr. God to bring us food. That means, man, sometimes we have a mentality to think that we waiting on Jesus. we wait. No. Get busy. It creates an environment because let me say this to everybody on this line, I'm going to tell you straight up. And I'm sure Willa back me up. When you go before the Father or before the throne of God, He's going to ask every one of us, brother, Ryan, what did you do with the talent I gave you?
Yeah.
Somebody, what did you do with the talent I gave you? Hey, Rico, Raheem, Badger, what do you do with the talent that I gave? Are we going to say, well, Lord, I put it under the, I buried and I waited on you. What are you going to do? God gave every one of us and I think, Raheem,
yes,
we're using it.
Yes, sir.
I think we really, really using the talent.
Absolutely.
And thank you for giving me this great opportunity to participate with such brilliant, good-hearted people on this line. And let me say this to everybody. I don't care what you think. I love you, and ain't a doggone thing you can do about it. That's what's on my heart, right?
Good deal. Good deal. Let's keep this thing going. We got our Cassandra. Good morning, Cassandra. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Cassandra, we're asking a question. Do most people or a lot of people afraid of tomorrow? And the way I'm coming from that question is this right here. A lot of times when things are going amazing in somebody's life, you could hear them say, and I'm sure you've heard it before, things are going excellent. Life is great. Energy is good. Man, y'all got to be careful, man. This thing going too good, man. It's going too good. Something bad is about to happen now. Yeah, it's going too good right now. Something bad is about to happen. Cassandra, why do you think people do that instead of appreciating the goodness of the moment?
Fear of the unknown for most people. Just think about that. It's like, and I've been there. I felt that way. Like, wow, okay, I'm having a good moment. Something is gonna come and spawn this thing. And I don't know what causes that, but I think fear of the unknown. Just like, nah, this is too good to be true right now, and something about to come and hit and throw me completely off, possibly. But I try not to look at life like that. Go ahead.
But Cassandra, and I'm glad that you kind of personalized a little bit. I'm glad that you did that. But if that be the case, are you really fully appreciating the goodness of that moment?
No, maybe not. But I think for me, it's just the human side. We can be very spiritual, and some of us can be spiritual all day long. But the bottom line is there is a human side of us that has human emotions, and and we can't get away from that. Now I can't. It's times that things hit me where I react as a human being, not as a spiritual being, but as an emotional being sometimes. So I'm just not there. I can honestly admit I'm not at that place where I react to everything in a spiritual manner that I should.
Yeah.
I'm still pressing. I'm still trying to get there. So, that would be my answer. I'm still trying to get there.
Good deal. And we have another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Good morning, Glow. It's VP.
VP! Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
I'm all right. I'm back to back.
Yeah, I know it, man. I know it. Look, I'm shocked. I'm both shocked and appalled. But we asking the question, brother. Are most people afraid of tomorrow? Are most people afraid of tomorrow? And along those lines, if things are going amazing, man, why do people always say, man, this is going too good? Something bad is about to happen. Something bad gonna happen because this is going too good. Why do we do that instead of just appreciating the goodness of the energy that's around us at that moment?
So, I don't know if you ever heard of Dr. Joe Dispenza. I've been on his kick a little He's a Christian psychologist,
Uh-huh.
but he really shapes the spirit and the earthly realms and puts it together for weird thinkers like myself.
Mm-hmm.
But he came up with this theory back in late 90s, early 2000s, and it says when we change our personalities, we will also change our personal reality. Since we are acting, reacting, behaving based on how we shaped our brain, we create our own personal reality.
Mm-hmm.
This means that you have the possibility to change your mind to become the personality you really want to be. So what happens is a lot of times we have this Job effect because we're blessed to know that although things are going good, you never know when God can give the okay for the enemy to take it away.
Mm.
So it takes a lot of change in your personality to shape the personal reality you have around you, to have that mindset to say, you know what, I'm blessed to have today. I'm not granted tomorrow, but if I do get it, it's just going to be as good as today was. But that
Mm-hmm.
takes practice. That takes an understanding that, my faith is on a whole different level than how people choose it to be. Like, I know the bills are coming.
Mm-hmm.
The bills come on the 1st. I'm not getting the hours I was supposed to get, or the salary's not making the money I thought it was going to keep doing, because, when you get more money, you start spending more money, and
Yeah.
you don't realize you wasn't saving no money. So, everything you do in your own personal reality is shaping it. It's shaping you to have a personality that thinks that tomorrow's going to be terrible,
Mm-hmm.
or I can't have a better day than I had today, or I got a long streak of winning, I got to lose eventually, because if we want to have a competition against God.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nowhere in the Bible where he says you could even compete against me.
Yeah.
But we want to compete and say, you know what, I'm Michael Jordan this thing right now. I'm 6-0 in the finals. I know I'm about to take a loss.
Mm-hmm.
But who's telling you that? Who told you you're having a loss?
Mm-hmm.
Besides yourself.
Yeah.
The enemy in me. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's good. That's good, Badger.
The things that Dennis and Willow were saying is so better worded than the way I was trying to word things earlier about a door always being presented. And once again, it seems like a lot of people don't even realize that door was presented to them. That's why I was speaking on the word insanity, living in insanity. Learning to be self-aware of the situation that you are currently in to find the best path forward. And it's hard. It is not an easy accomplishment, but it's definitely something worth working towards. In this society, there's a lot of things to be concerned about, to be worried about. Everything from gun shootings, mass shootings, to judgment, the different isms, what our corporate America is doing, what our politicians are doing. There's a lot of things that is anger inducing
Mm-hmm.
or can continue the negativity in oneself. And I'm not speaking this just to speak it. I also have worked very hard to live what I speak. Being in trauma brain, dealing with severe social anxiety, dealing with a constant feeling of not belonging is not an easy thing to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
However, seeking a way to be positive in those situations, not just for yourself, yet for those that are around you. That's why self-healing is so important, because you are affecting the people around you, even if you don't want to acknowledge it. And that's the hard part, is the realization that we are not just responsible for ourselves, we are responsible for those that are around us. So when we choose to make the same decision over and over and over, we're living in insanity based on the definition. Repeating the same thing, expecting a different outcome. Well, if the outcome is continually the same, why don't we change it? Fear of change, fear of the unknown. Those are driving factors and why a lot of people continue doing the same things that they are doing every day, staying in the same mentality, dealing with the same reactions of life based on their experiences that they endure every single day. And there are many ways to work on these things, but you have to take that leap of faith and walk through that door. The door is always available.
And see, that's the part right there. That part right there is where, you know, I kind of go in another direction. Because we would like to think, and thinking positive, and that's what we're talking about right now, positive thinking. So I don't want to go against what we say, go against the grain of what we're talking about. But the reality of the situation, Badger, is that door is not always readily available to everybody. I would like to think it was, and stand along the lines of positivity. I would like to think that it is.
Then
That a person can just look at the door, walk through the door, and poof, everything is beautiful again.
I know
But
other
some
people on the
don't have
line,
that.
so
Right,
I'm just going to say this and just
Raheem,
leave it there real
door,
quick.
is the door opportunity? Can the door be called opportunity? When you say door, Brother Raheem,
Oh, absolutely.
Opportunity is never available, or is the door not opportunity? I just want to ask the question. I'm sorry to jump in on that.
Well, the door could be opportunity, but even if we're gonna put a title on that door and say that door is opportunity, we also got to understand that not everybody have opportunity. Not everybody have opportunity to be successful. Some people have opportunity snatched away from them for whatever reason. And so if we're gonna name that door, if we're gonna name that door opportunity, we got to also understand that not everybody have quote unquote opportunity. Go ahead, Badger.
The part that throws me is why even make that statement?
Because it's true.
How?
I know.
Yes. That's all I'm going to say is, how is that statement factual? In it.
Okay. Wow. That's the part that kind of I'm coming to you, Cassandra. That's the part that kind of blinded me right there, saying how could we make that statement when we know that in this society in which we live in, not everybody have opportunities. Not everybody get the same opportunities. Some opportunities are greater than others, and some don't get opportunities at all. And so to say how can we make that statement, you know, that kind of blindsided me, because I know that some people don't get opportunity. I know that some people that has all the talent in the world get looked over and bypassed. And next, you over there, and the person I think have all the opportunity in the world. There are some players, and I'm gonna equate this to sports for a second, because I'm going to come to you. There are some players that are much greater players than a lot of the players that's in the NBA. Why aren't they in the NBA? Because they never had the opportunity to play at that level. Now they could play at that level. They have the ability, the skills, and the intellect to play at that area, at that level, but they never had the opportunity. Cassandra, go ahead.
Raheem, I just want to throw this out there. Today I'm in Ohio, and I'm going to be marching with Jalen Walker's family, and about maybe close to 20 families that lost loved ones to police violence, from indigenous people. I guess I use that word. I mean, we have like a melting pot of people that have lost loved ones, but they're here to march with Jalen's family, who was shot 46 times by the police here in Akron, Ohio. So I'm trying to, I know that you can take something horrible and turn it to good, because you can, start fighting for the rights of others and other people. That's why I fight. I don't want other families to go through what my family is going through right now with the death of my nephew. But these families it's hard for me to equate what Badger is saying to these families. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
It just,
Go
I
ahead.
don't, yeah, they will never get their loved one back. But they're still, and it's not a happy thing, but they're still trying to do something positive, even though they have lost loved ones, even though I have lost a loved one. So I just want to throw that in there. I'm trying to equate the two. Maybe somebody else can explain to me how that works.
Wow. Captain, you was about to say something. What's on your heart?
Well, you know, listen, and let me say this. I'm in Columbus, Ohio. I'm just about an hour and a half, maybe 2 from you. I wish I was in a position to be there with you in Akron. I was there in Akron when it first happened, and they had the town hall meeting. But I tip my hat and salute you, sis, for being there. And thank you for representing us. I'm sure as you're there, you can represent this family, Morning Glow family as well. I mean, doggone, so close. I can't even touch it, sis. But may God give everybody in the family some peace. It's unbelievable that nobody has been brought to justice from shooting that brother that many times. But nevertheless, I want to say this, Brother Raheem, because it's very important. I think everybody is given an opportunity, Brother Raheem. I just think we don't recognize it when it comes. That's all. I really, really believe God gives everybody an opportunity. The problem that we have, we do not recognize it. When we look at somebody knock, it's opportunity knock, right? You look out the keyhole and you say, oh snap. And you see difficulty. Oh man, there's difficulty out there. I ain't answering the door. But that's opportunity. Because opportunity always comes in the most difficult moments. So everybody, I don't think God deprives them in what you do with opportunity. I'm not going to say they didn't have the opportunity. No, they just didn't recognize the opportunity. That's all. And all of us are like that. And I think I understand what my man coming from, but I do believe that we as a group, as individuals, we have the opportunity to change our reality. I like what my brother said. I wish I could get that quote that he talked about that gentleman. But it was beautiful what he said because it makes sense. We have to be able to change. You change your reality by your thinking. That's all. If you think a certain thought and you create a positivity in your thought, then the very positive thought change your reality. If I keep thinking, man, listen, I'm gonna be rich. If I think I'm gonna be rich, Brother Ryan, I'm not gonna hang around nickel and dime people. If I want to be rich, get around people that have the same goal, same aspirations that I have. Get around rich thinking people. And I may not be able to get to the moon, but I hit a star. But I'm sure not gonna get around people. Oh man, that's crazy, man. You ain't gonna never get. You wasting your time, partner. The white man ain't gonna never let a nigga go get ahead. You hear me, man? You hear that? Man, you got to get away from all that negativity. Get around people that reinforce. And that's what I like about people that are spiritual. Not people that are religious about it. Don't get me twisted. That's what I like about spiritual people. They move beyond the little man or the disbeliever's expectation. What is your expectation?
Yeah.
And this is why I love the fact that we get on this line and we get a chance to express. And you give us that opportunity to express. And ain't nobody, that's what I love about, ain't nobody arguing. Man, that's a doggone tale you telling right there. Now, we are complimenting the truth that each and every one of us, you can't tell me, Brother Raheem, and I watch everybody since I've been on the Morning Glow. I watch us all grow. We have grown. I'm not the same dude I used to be. None of y'all the same that y'all used to be. And you know why we have grown? Because we were able to recognize the good in one another and take that good and add it to ourselves. And when we disagree, let's throw it, put it to the side.
Yeah.
But I do believe opportunity. Now, maybe somebody may disagree with that. I do believe opportunity comes to all of us We just don't recognize it.
Mhm.
That's what's on my heart right here.
Good deal, good deal. And I'm going to switch the rotation. I'm going to go to Willa after you this time, Cap.
I knew you was gonna do that.
No,
I
you
knew it. I knew you. I said it. I said it. But you know, one thing about what Cap said was, see, the opportunity is there for us, but like he said, we don't recognize it. Some people are not persistent with it. I think about 2 years ago, I believe, if I hadn't followed K instructions and calling you, if I had not did that, then I wouldn't be here with you today. See, it's because he said we miss the opportunities because we're not persistent.
Yeah.
Some of us are lazy. We don't see no further than what we see. We don't see past the picture that's in front of us. And you got to be, and even though some people say, well, you just got to be a realist. What's real to you? So what I'm saying is we're not all the same, Raheem. We look at things differently. We look at things differently because even when it comes to being spiritual, when Christ chose his disciples, all of them weren't the same because Judas was there to betray him. He already was set up for something bad to happen, and it wasn't bad because he had to get on that cross in order for us to be redeemed.
Yeah.
So I said that to say, he said, I'm going to teach you how to be fishermen of men. So that tells you, Raheem, we're not all the same, but the same opportunities, some of the same objectives are there.
Yeah.
It depends on how it says what? This is what it says in Romans 12, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. So when you want to change something, you got to transform it by renewing how you think, what you do, now what you're going to say, how you're going to be. Come on now. How many people you know so lazy? They got a vision and it stops right there. They don't press or push to do anything because they don't like to work.
Yeah.
The Bible says work is plentiful. The labor work is plentiful, but the labors are few. Because we're lazy, right? We could get to that point in our life. I don't want to do nothing. I just want to get up and exist. We heard that yesterday. So I just said that to say we're not all the same, but some of the same things can get you where you need to go if you start listening, and hearing, and start doing. That's what's on my heart, Raheem.
Good deal. What's the number here? 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. We got a lot going on this morning. We're going to go to VP. And Rico, you up next, brother. VP, what's on your heart?
No, you coming back that fast. So I like. So how do I? When dealing with the heart, because I'm hearing everybody, and I like this because what this does is the iron sharpens iron.
Yes.
Type of broadcast where we get on here and we actually mentor, because those with the spiritual nature do hear when you need to be sharpened a little bit, and this does do that. But I want to go back to the door thing, and sometimes when life knocks you down and you don't feel like you can't keep getting up. And we wanted to not label the door opportunity. We can label it love. We just label the door. Doesn't look like you can get to it. It's one of those instances where we have to be that physical, because I think what happens is, with not attacking the church or nothing like that, but we get into the church and then we get to where we get in this holding pattern, like it's talking about earlier, waiting for the Holy Spirit to move in us. But we need to move and show people physically, like a physical standpoint, that small changes, not big ones. Like we always want to have this grand outing to show that,
faith works, and you know what? I thought about for a long time I was gonna have a car, but no, you also have to put in the work. So if you want a car, you need to get a job, and it may not be a high paying job.
Yeah.
But if your mind is always saying I'm gonna get a car, you're gonna find another job, because now you have the skill set to help you get something bigger, to help you get a bigger paycheck. Then you're gonna start noticing, oh, people are just not gonna give me a car. I have to get my credit right. So then you're gonna start working on your credit. This is the same thing you do with your personality, and how to get over the mindset of I can't have a better tomorrow. Because if I start small things today and it falls and fails, the small things still succeeded. LeBron James may not have won all the championships he's been to, but he's been to 11 finals. There's not many people who could say they've been to 11 finals. There's not many people who could say they've been to 19, 20 NBA All-Star games.
Yeah.
But if all we want to focus on is the championship, then everything else that he did doesn't make sense. So what? The day before, I won't say his name, but I can hear his voice. It's a very distinct voice. But he was saying everybody on this earth has a purpose. Like my purpose, I know slowly but surely, good marriage or bad marriage, is to help people in their marriage. Because I like the truth. I'm a testimonial person. I have no problem exploiting myself. Because God, I feel safe and secure and peace of mind, like we were on yesterday, about who I am. So if I make a step forward today, and my marriage is what I thought it was going to be, but I made steps forward. I mean, I got rewarded the way I wanted to get rewarded, but I made steps forward. Now the next day, because of the steps forward I made yesterday, I don't know what's coming for tomorrow, but I guarantee tomorrow's probably going to be better than the day it is right now. Because the little steps that I put forward, the same, like, things don't grow out the ground if you don't put seed in it.
Come on.
You can't just stare at the ground and be like, well, I don't know why my plants ain't growing. Well, the seed is still on your packet on the counter.
And
That's
see,
insanity. Like Badger said, that's insanity.
see what I'm hearing you saying is overcoming obstacles.
Because that's what's in front of you. That's what's in front. Like, because when you use the Bible, people start judging you. You know what I'm saying? Like the walls of Jericho. They looked at that thing and said, I don't know what to do with that. He said, walk around it in 7 days and pray. And then they seen it fall before their eyes. That's faith. So ain't no way a physical building, I'm walking around this thing for 7 days. This is a big building. This is a lot of work. But once you do that and you have the faith and you see it fall, then what do? You just keep moving. You cannot go back to who you used to be.
Yeah.
It's hard. That's a hard thing.
That's good. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Why do you think people always harping on the negative? Let's put that question out there like that. Why do people harp on the negative? Rico, talk to me, brother.
To me, just the fact that question even exists sort of let me know that sometimes when we even pretend or think we are, and I'm going to say relate to other people, we really don't. When we really say that we care about other people, we really don't. Because to me, the question is, it ain't as complicated as we making it seem. And it's very simple, and sometimes you can be looking at it as negative, and it's not a negative. I'm going to go back to the swimming pool incident, a swimming pool. A lot of people think about just buying a swimming pool, putting it in ground or above ground in their backyard, and they're just thinking about all the fun that's going to be involved. Now we ain't got to worry about going somewhere else swimming. Yeah, we got to do a little work. We got to change the chemicals and make sure the water don't turn green. Well, it's going to be fun. Then somebody come around and say, well, hey, you need to put fence up.
Yep.
Why we need to put up a fence? Man, they always coming trying to make us do something. They thinking negative. Why are you thinking negative? Somebody may come in your yard and jump in your pool and drown.
Yep.
You don't want to leave that vulnerable for somebody to take advantage of and come and make a mistake on your property. So, when I'm going to go back to that story that I gave. It wasn't about the fact that I saved the child. It was about the fact that I had that funny feeling and my energy wasn't right. I couldn't jump in and shuck and jive and enjoy the festivities like everybody else did, because I started noticing little things, and I'm like, man, look at these people. they like some sheep, man. They so caught up in themselves that they ain't paying attention to the child. You know, if you ever seen your grown-ups get around each other and carry on and they act like children ain't around and they shedding and cussing and doing all the things that children shouldn't see.
Mm-hmm.
I was mindful of the fact that there was a child there, but everybody was caught up in the festivity. So I didn't fit in. I was sort of standoffish because I had this premonition, and I also seen how distracted they were at the celebrity in the room, which was my cousin. I was like, man, it's funny how people get to acting when a celebrity come around. They start idolizing. Look at this girl. She ain't even paying attention to her son. She ready to put him down and get rid of him. She wish he wouldn't hear. You could tell she didn't want to be bothered with him. He was a hassle. I don't like the way this looked, man. So I was already feeling uncomfortable. So I just happened to see that premonition and realize the vulnerability and the risk that was at play because his own mama wasn't paying enough attention to him. And it played out exactly the way that it did. So, I mean, that was the point in the fact that everybody was looking at me at first like, man, what's wrong with you? You okay? What's wrong? You okay? I wouldn't drink nothing. I just didn't feel comfortable letting my hair down like the rest of them and then not paying attention to this child. But see, I'll do that any time. You get together for Christmas parties or whatever, and the children are around. If the adults in the house drinking and smoking and partying and dancing, I'm outside with the kids making sure ain't nobody being managed or being taken advantage of or being kidnapped because children are vulnerable. But see, I listen to people talk, man. But I'm going to tell you something about this flesh. This flesh has gone through a lot of experiences.
Yeah.
And it has a lot of memories of those experiences. And I think religion is in place because it took somebody like Jesus to come down and say, hey, let me vouch for these human beings. They need a second chance. So, whoa, man, that chaos and that confusion down there on that planet they living on, it is having a terrible effect on that flesh. Those people going through some experiences that they might need a second chance to get into the heaven. Oh, man, they got a lot of influences going on down there. But see, I think Jesus came around, even the example we should be receiving from Jesus or Noah is being our brother's keeper. I can't imagine Jesus walking around saving people, performing miracles, and then somebody come up negative and say, well, I still don't believe. What, man, you know what? You're still negative. They're gone. I don't even want you to walk with us. He said, why don't you believe? What's going on? What's your trauma? What's your problem? But see, we're talking about opportunities. I've seen people that had opportunities, and when they took them opportunities, the doors were slammed in their faces. I bring up the little girl that had to help put her brother and sister in the freezer. She had an opportunity to tell her mother's sister, my mama just knocked my tooth out. No, I don't like this. But she was so used to having people believe her mama over her and take her word for it to the point where even when she did see the chance of taking an opportunity, she felt like it's going to be a waste of time. I might as well go along with her so I can stay alive. Because if I tell the truth, they're going to believe her. She's going to kill me and put me in the freezer too.
Wow.
Now, us as adults, we have to understand that some of these children go through experiences like that. And when they get to be adults, if they don't know no better, they can't do no better. We just can't be ready to kick them out and dismiss them. We got to be willing, and we can't even ask them, why are you so negative? You know, if that little girl right now, and her little brother, that's the one that's alive, the one that her older brother and sister were killed over. If her little brother was a meter woman right now, and this sister seen that woman and saw some type of little small dysfunction in that woman, she might get traumatized and say, hey, watch that woman. Don't you have no kids with her? I don't trust her.
Wow. That's
she
good.
might be traumatized to the point where she's always negative about every woman that her brother get with because of the experience that she had. That's how dysfunctional and chaotic it was. So it ain't just as easy to just question people. I think the question to me is insensitive. I think, you know, it really shows that we really don't understand or relate. To me, it's obvious why some people think negative. I could tell you too many reasons why somebody think negative, or why they don't take advantage of all the opportunities. Why they feel like if they take advantage of the opportunity, it's a waste of time. I could give you plenty of reasons.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
to be able to understand should put you in a situation where you shouldn't even have to ask that question. The only question should be was, how can I help them?
Okay, that's good. I love that last part you said too about how can I help them. I love that part. But my thing is this right here. Some places you're supposed to visit, and some places you're supposed to live in. Are they supposed to live in that negativity? You know, you could visit it because negative things does happen. but are we to live there? Or we can't.
They lived in it. That's all they know.
Yeah.
They lived in it from 0 to 18, till mama went to prison, till the bodies were discovered. That's all they know.
I'm not
to the
talking.
point of where they
No.
see some opportunity, they was
Rico.
afraid that it wasn't going to work out because
But Rico,
they
I'm not
always
talking about that
believed her mother.
situation. I'm not talking about that particular situation right there. I understand that situation. That's a very traumatic situation. I understand that. And I'm not speaking on that part. I'm talking about as a holistically, are we supposed to live in the negativity, or are we supposed to try to find a way out to get out of that thing, and so we can actually experience some of the positive things? I'm certainly not talking about that situation. Certainly not at all. Not that situation at all.
You're supposed to find your way out if you know your way out. But when we are the ones questioning why people are negative and trying to dismiss them instead of trying to help guide them, see, we supposed to be Noahs and Jesus. We ain't supposed to be dismissing them and questioning why they like that. Like I said, we supposed to be asking how we can help them, because it's obvious in this experience, this life, that people are going to have different experiences that will traumatize them like that. And everybody didn't have the opportunity, or maybe they didn't know how to get to the opportunity. Maybe they didn't have confidence.
Okay.
So we all are supposed to reinforce.
Okay. Hold right there, Rico. I got to pull some more people into the conversation. And I'm not saying that you're wrong, but my thing is this right here. Like I said in the earlier part of the conversation we was having, and I say, look here, I will get with that person that's in that situation. If I could take them out to dinner or something like that, sit them down and have a conversation with them. That's providing, like Badger has said, that may be providing that door that they need. Just sitting down, having a dinner, lunch, or dinner with them, having a conversation and talking to them, having that dialogue with them, creating that door or that opportunity, like it was addressed earlier, to get them out of that situation. Ryan, what's on your heart, brother? Ryan, you there?
Oh Lord, I almost hit the leave button.
Go ahead, man. What's on your heart?
So I see where Rico's coming from.
Oh, yeah.
And so you ever heard the term muscle memory?
Yeah.
It's kind of like muscle memory, right? You're programmed. You've done these things or experienced these things so many times over and over and over again that muscle memory kicks in. And that's all you know. That's the only way you can deal with things. And you feel like any opportunity that's presented to you, and I've been there myself in the past, where I know there's an opportunity here, but no, we ain't finna. We're not going to explore that because somebody's going to say something, or someone's going to do something, or a door's going to get shut in my face, and I'll be back to square one. And it's taken me a long time, 43 years now, 41, to find this spot where I'm at right this moment. I was presented with an opportunity, and someone else tried to shut that door in my face when I came to this job. The boss that was here, told the guy that hired me, don't hire that guy, because she didn't like the way I looked.
Wow.
And he said, are you crazy? This guy has everything that we need. I'm hiring him anyway. He went against his boss and opened that door for me. And then when it was time for me to come up for my first promotion, same scenario. No, we're not promoting him. Yes, we are. Sometimes it takes a third party to take care of that situation for you. And you may not even be able to acknowledge the good yourself, right? It's still a scenario where your muscle memory kicks in. And even if you want to call it something else, but that muscle memory kicks in, you're like, nope, all right, fine. I'm just going to deal with it and suck it up and move on and be in my negative realm. But then that third party, unbeknownst to you, will step in and handle that scenario for you. And it's crazy, how life works sometimes for certain people. And you just don't even know it. So I think Rico is onto something, and I get where he's coming from, but I get where you're coming from too, because if you're always dwelling in the negative, you're setting yourself up for that muscle memory, right? Exactly. And you gotta, at some point in your life, regardless of what the scenario is, I think we as human beings need to find some way to find a positive somewhere in our lives, or we're going to destroy ourselves. And look at the populace as a whole. We're starting to destroy ourselves because of all this negativity going on around us, going all around us all the time. There's always something negative. For one positive news story, there's like 30 negative ones. And people tend to focus on the negative, and it's destroying us as a people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Captain Leonard, talk to me, brother. What's on your heart?
Just chiming back in. I had to go run a little errand or what have you. But is the conversation still where it was before?
Yes, yes. And we're talking about Ryan just brought in the muscle memory. A lot of times people get caught up because that's what they're used to. And Rico was saying, you know, how well you heard what they were saying. But my thing is, what is your take on it?
Well, I don't have a take on it when you say it like that. I believe in faith and hope.
Do you think that a person that's constantly in that negative position in their life, dealing with the negative energies in their life, do you think it's because of a lack of faith?
Well, I know that there's probably very little faith there. Because one, you have to take into consideration all of the insincerity you have added to where your life is at today. All the little nasty things you've done to people. That's where a lot of this comes from. Because everyone wants to always place the blame on. Sure, you can have bad situations and accidents and anything can happen. What you doing now? What you gonna do tomorrow? You know, there's nothing worse than burying the dead and you walk around here dead.
Wow.
Think about it. What do you want? What's the desired outcome? Where you trying to go? If you want to stay in that dark place, that's your business. Ain't nobody gonna sit around here and drag you out of a dark place if that's where you choose to be. You can come out here and enjoy life with everybody else, despite all the hurt, the pain, the suffering, and the shame involved. But what are you doing to make your life better? And you can tell me all you can tell me is what has happened. That's all you can tell me. Yeah, I know that happened. Guess what? Yeah. Yeah. My mother died and she's gonna always be dead until she show back up. You think I'm gonna sit around and worry about it? Losing good friends every day. Just found out one of the elders of my village died in a house fire. But she wouldn't want me to ruin my life because of it. And I'm so glad and so blessed that I was not raised around some of the people that you all talk about. These places where you were at, where there was no hope, nothing was right, and no light. I don't know places like that.
Wow.
I know about people not walking towards that light. I know about people refusing to accept reality. I know about people that just want to sit and wallow in pity. But it reminds me of the whole campaign against blacks and black people and all the nasty things that they said. But you know what? If you, I forgot we don't like to say the N word. But if that's all you are to yourself, that's all you'll ever be.
Wow.
You'll always be what they say you are. Because you won't take control of your own life. You know, you talk about, well, let's not talk about it. We can talk about it, but where are we going? People suffocate and need air. So what are you talking about? How can you don't even let the words you believe in God come out your mouth if you have no faith and have no hope. That's what it's all about.
Good
so
deal.
no, I can't sit and hold your hand and we both sitting in here suffering. There's an old saying, the man that chases two rabbits don't catch neither one of them.
Hold right there. Let's keep
something.
Exactly. Stay right there for a second. Let me go to Cassandra. Cassandra, what's on your heart, sis? Talk to me. Cassandra?
Good morning. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know where we are in the conversation. Listen, I want to say this, that I've spoken. I'm down with some of the families, and they are willing to come on tomorrow if you like, Raheem. Several of them will come on and talk about their stories about the loss of their loved ones. If you guys are interested.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Set it up. Set up the time and everything. We'll get them if they want to come on the video. We'll actually send them the link, or they could just call in. Absolutely. We're dedicated.
Okay.
We're dedicated to that tomorrow.
So so I'll be setting up with some of them for that. Tell me where we are, and I'll make a comment, and then move on.
We're talking about people that and Leonard said something. He said he don't want to, and I'm paraphrasing here a little bit. He said it doesn't make sense for him to go and sit in the room with somebody that's mourning or that's down or depressed or whatever the case, and hold their hand when he could go out there and make a difference in the community for him and that person. So what do you think about people that live in a place of negativity? How do you get them out of it?
See, I don't, if a person is mourning, I don't look at that. I look at that differently than somebody that's just negative all the time. Everyone mourns differently. Anybody you can say, everybody mourns differently. Mm-hmm. You may be able to get up and function the day after your child has been killed or whatever, but someone else, it may take them time. You know what I'm saying? They may have to lay in bed for several months before they can even get up and try to function. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I'm talking about this from a counseling that I never tell people how to mourn. I tell them don't get stuck. Yeah. You don't want them to get stuck, but you have to try to walk them through that and not judge them. Mm-hmm. So yes, I'll hold your hand if that's what you need for this time. You understand what I'm saying? And then we can move forward from there. But no one mourns the same. Everyone mourns their loved ones differently. So you have to give people that space to mourn.
Mm-hmm. And Leonard said,
and it's not being negative. Okay. That's not being negative. That's not being negative.
And Leonard said I butchered his synopsis as to what he said. Make it clear to her, Leonard. Give it the quick version.
You mentioned to me something else when you talking to what Miss Cassandra is talking about.
Mm-hmm. Clean it up for me.
Mourning is related to death and grief.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You're going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But don't do it forever.
Okay.
Because I can honestly tell you, if you don't get out of that place, it's going to corrupt you.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to start acting out. You're going to start making it worse. If the person, like say for instance, I had the privilege of being with my mother through her transition.
Mm-hmm.
But she was just as spirited on that day as any other day. I was bringing her flowers one moment, 15 minutes later, she was taking her last breath.
Wow.
I can't stay in that place because that place is not for me. Jesus said, follow me, but we need to go back. Let the dead bury the dead.
Mm-hmm.
But at some point, you must move. You must move. It lets people know that life is still there. It lets you know that life is still there. Working with these people who have come through all these tragedies, it's the work that they do so that their loved one's life or loss of life wasn't in vain.
Mm-hmm. Good deal. Good deal. Rico, you say you have a question? Oh. I think he hit the wrong button. Badger, what's on your heart, brother? Rico?
He's back. You're muted, Rico.
Rico, can't hear you, brother. Okay. All right. Go ahead, Badger.
You're down there talking backwards.
Yeah, I know, right?
Talking like Yoda.
I know, right?
You know, I was thinking about some of the stories that Rico shares quite frequently. And even about, that kid he served in that moment. And that was an opportunity for those that were around Rico to go, how did you know that was going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
And it's up to those people around him to make that choice to view it in that manner. Once again, I use the word insanity.
Mm-hmm.
Expecting a different outcome by staying in the same mindset. It doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
You have to learn to grow. And that is not a common thing in this society. But there are people, at least one human being around each one of us, that have some idea about what growth is.
Mm-hmm.
However, we as an individual need to be open to that growth. And that requires a personal experience, a personal decision to work towards that goal. It is hard to deal with the loss of a child. I know. I've been there.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I don't talk about it. I don't mention any details. I'm going to leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone through my therapy, and it's been many, many years. It's
Mm-hmm.
been 16 years.
Wow.
And the memory has not left.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand loss of a child. I understand being shot and stabbed and all these other things. So once again, you can throw out all of the things possible. Trauma is not easy. It takes self-motivation and willpower and finding a relationship with something that is greater than you to get into a positive place. And some people can do it quicker than others. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can't hold yourself to other people's expectations. You hold yourself to your expectations of what you were sent here to do. And that's the thing. Rico talks about all the time how he serves a lot
Mm-hmm.
to help other people. We all do on this call.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. We are serving a source greater than ourselves in those situations, and we have to acknowledge that it is that source that put us there.
Mm-hmm.
He brings up the young lady that went through what she went through with her brothers and sisters and stuff like that. I hope she has found the beginning of a healing journey and helps teach or share her story. So hopefully any other child that is in that situation will find strength in that moment to speak out.
Mm-hmm.
That is
Yeah.
always a opportunity or a possibility. Those situations are horrible.
Mm-hmm.
So some of us that talk in positivity, we are not trying to discredit anything. That's where words matter so greatly. That's why I weigh words so much. Is because I'm not trying to offend anyone. I acknowledge that every human being on this planet experiences something to
Mm-hmm.
some degree, be it the worst that you can imagine to the best that you can imagine, and everything in between.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
that's the
good.
thing about being a human being in an existence of being a spiritual being inside of a human body.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Eh,
That's good. That's good.
mm,
508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We'd love to have your input as to what we're talking about. Rico, I got you on the phone line, brother. What's on your heart?
Yeah, I think this sort of relates to doubt too,
Mm-hmm.
and I like what Ryan was saying. He was speaking about being an advocate.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think about what he was saying last night about the efforts that he made to help, he's going above and beyond what a supervisor should do
Mm-hmm.
to try to make sure he look out for the guys that work for him, because he know they need the job, even though they do more than enough to get ran off. What he does, he advocates on their behalf, and at the same time, he sort of, he works with them.
Mm-hmm.
He has that compassion that's needed.
Mm-hmm.
But I sort of have I have a way to say, sometimes we have to be careful, man, in the process of calling ourselves being advocates and activists.
Mm-hmm.
First off, I want to ask Leonard, does he think that we'll ever have world peace, even in our lifetime?
Leonard?
I think some of us have it now. Some of us actually have it now. But I do understand the concept of war and why people do have disagreements. And as long as these disagreeable people have the power to be at war, they will be. But this will not be so on the new earth.
So currently, there's no hope for world peace.
No, it's not that there's no hope for world peace, because us, our Christians, have been given our peace, and it is in Christ Jesus. I don't know what the world is going to do. I don't know what the world is going to do.
Else too. A question you can ask everybody else too, because I noticed when he said it, if you don't have hope, you should stop believing in God. I don't want to, misquote him, but it was something to the extent that, well, it might have come out negative to somebody that doesn't have hope. They're still depending on God, but it's a fight, it's a struggle, because we always a work in progress. I mentioned some of these people that have been through traumatic experiences their entire lives, where the system failed them. The system, they slipped through the cracks. And now they're being told to just look at the positive and believe. But they probably believed for 15 years. The whole time they was getting screwed and beat on. And even when the people that were there to help them didn't feel like helping them because our social workers' hands are tied. The police can only do so much. Oh, you got to have so much money to get it in the family court, because now it costs money to save the child. You got so many different instances where a child might have hope, but that hope gets stepped on. I mean, and I hate to bring up my son, but we had the same conversation. Dad, what's the use of me telling the police and children's services what's happening when they always gonna believe my mom and take her word for it?
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And I'm saying the same thing. You know what? Why? What is the use of me going to court if when I go to court, they still gonna take more rights from me? I had so many rights, and then I went to court expecting to get more rights, and they limited them. One weekend on a Saturday for 2 hours to be a father to your child under supervision at a center. Nothing intimate or personal.
Mm-hmm.
So, I can say it, he can say it, and so many other people in this world can say, what is the use? This system is corrupted. It's intended to make sure that we fail. The school to prison pipeline is for real. When people don't realize that these systems are in place intentionally to sabotage you, if you aren't taught that or you don't realize that, it's going to be easy for you to lose hope, because you don't even know what kind of system you're in, and you don't know how to get out of it. And the traditional way is not going to make it. Mm-hmm. So you got to make sure that you have people that's around you that understand, look, I'm not going to dismiss you. I'm not going to counsel you. I'm going to ask you why you feel this way. Then I'm going to try to show you another way. I ain't just going to sit back and just tell you, well, since you the way, this is where you want to be, and this is where you believe, get on away from me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you love this dysfunction and you encourage it and you celebrate it, you glorify it, get away from me. But if you really do truly have a motivation to want to do better, but you just can't get right because you just don't know how, because you never did know any better, and your environment and your learned behavior taught you to cope in a dysfunctional and chaotic way just to get some type of stability, I ain't fixing to dismiss you. And the question, like I said, it ain't going to take too many time for me to ask the question. I'm going to spend more time trying to find out what I need to do to get you to believe it can be better.
Good deal.
Because I think it's obvious the reason why people are doubtful or negative.
Good. Let me go to
the world we live in.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Well, yeah. To a certain degree, I can agree. To a certain degree, absolutely. Well,
so true, Raheem. It's the environment a person lives in.
Mm-hmm.
If all they could see is the ghetto, they'll never know what downtown look like.
Well, let me ask this question. Let me ask this question right here, sister. Because I see. Let me ask a question like this. I'm the question asker. Let me ask this question. How is it that you can have a household in what people would deem the worst part of your city, town, your state, in the worst part of it? a household that has 3 kids, how is it that they could have 3 totally different experiences, not living experiences or what it was raised, but because they're raised in the same environment. But one could go on to be a doctor, one could go on and get addicted to drugs, and one could be right there caught in the middle or whatever. How could you have 3 different people growing up in the same household with the same experiences, but yet they have totally different outcomes with where they end up in their life?
Because they all 3 have 3 different personalities.
Exactly.
They all 3 have something that's customized by each one of them that has one in the other that may not have in one.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have 3 children, and I know that 2 of them are gonna do fine,
Mm-hmm.
but one of them I literally had to babysit because of the anger. He had an anger problem. He needed anger management.
Mm-hmm.
I sent him to anger management about 3-4 times, but he would always tell the doctor, y'all don't know what you're talking about, walk out. So I loved them the same, but I had to treat them differently.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew that my children were different in their personalities. You know, he had the situation kind of like what Rico had, where he was going to court for child support, and they would let him have a supervised visit for 2 hours to see his daughter he hadn't seen in 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So until she got used to him, and he just kind of gave up. But his daughter said to him, "Dad, please don't give up on me. Go back to court."
Mm-hmm.
So it's certain things in your life, in your environment, that push those things out of you that shouldn't be there. So
Okay.
those are different things about the children that you have, when you have multiple children, their personalities, right here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's what's on my heart.
Okay, and that's good. I can certainly accept that. But my thing is, the reason why I wanted to give that scenario is we talking about opportunity and the doors and different things of that nature. If they all came from the same place, I was gonna use another terminology, but if they all came from the same place, same space, same environment, same everything, dealing with the same mother or father both of them in the household, but dealing with the same individual. Opportunity. We talk about opportunity. Some,
Yeah.
you know, some grow up. One of them plant 3 seeds. One of them grow and produce all kind of vegetables. One of them grow but don't produce a lot of vegetables. They grow but they don't produce a lot of vegetables. The third one would wither away and just die. They're planted in the same soil. Zamar, what do you say to that?
Mhm.
You know, it's like she said, different personalities, different choices. It's just, they are all, when they're brought into this world, they already have those personality traits in them. You're born with your traits already,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it doesn't, I mean, I can't say it doesn't matter how you're brought up. It absolutely matters how you're brought up. But you're
Yeah,
talking about 3 kids in the same household. I've got 6 kids. All
Mhm,
6 of my kids are very different from one another. All
Mhm,
of them. They might have similar traits, but although the 4 that Ryan and I have together, they've been raised with the same set of parents, with the same rules, with the same everything. But
mhm,
they all respond differently to those same things. They're
mhm.
all going to react differently, and either they're going to butt against you or they're going to go along with the program, right? So they all have these different personalities and traits, and so it is just who they are created to be. It's not necessarily anything that you might be doing as a parent or that you're not doing as a parent. It's just who they are.
Mhm.
You know, and there's nothing, unfortunately, that you can really do about that, because even if they do follow everything that you've taught them from age 1 to age 20, by the
But
time they're out of your
you
household, they're going to still go their own
Zamar,
way. What?
you say there's nothing you could do. That's it. That's interesting, because you said there's nothing you could do. Now, if you see that one, you're raising all 3 of the kids, you see that one is really blooming and blossoming and going in the right direction. One, kind of sorta, but the third one that's withering out, there's nothing you could do for that one when you recognize it. If a good parent will recognize what's going on with their children.
I'm saying by the time they reach adulthood, at that
Mhm.
point, their decisions are their own. Of
Yeah.
course, while they're coming into their own, right,
Mhm.
you do absolutely everything that you can to
Mhm.
nurture your child, give
Mhm.
them the best possible opportunities. If they're struggling reading, if they're struggling with math, if they're struggling with anything, you do your very best, or we're supposed to
Mhm.
anyway, to help them to become the very best that they can become, to do whatever it is that they want to do with their lives. You know, if they want to be president of the United States, if they want to be an astronaut, whatever it is, you create
Mhm.
those opportunities. You allow them a place and an environment where they can flourish and grow in that. But
Mhm.
at a certain point, you, just like ourselves, we are responsible for ourselves, our own actions and consequences, all of that. So that's what I'm saying. At a certain point,
Mhm.
there's nothing I've done everything that I can do. If my child is an alcoholic, absolutely, I'm going to do whatever I can do to get them out of that. Absolutely, for
Mhm.
sure. I'm not
Yeah.
going to say,
Yeah.
oh, well, you made your decisions. You're an adult now. No, you don't ever
Mhm.
stop parenting. It doesn't matter if your child is 50 and you're 80. Okay.
Yeah.
You're still a parent. You will always
Mhm.
do whatever you can for your child. But what I'm
Absolutely.
saying is, they, in a sense, they create their own chaos.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
they're going to do what they're going to do. Like we've talked about my 19-year-old. My 19-year-old made the decision against our wishes, against what we wanted, for her to leave home because she didn't
Mhm.
like the way things were here. Okay, go figure it out then. You think you're grown. There's
Mhm.
nothing more we can do.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
at that age now, right? So
Mhm.
that's what I meant with that. Not that you just wipe your hands clean and don't do anything at all, but at some point, they have to be that adult.
Mhm.
And they're making those decisions for themselves in spite of the way that they've been brought up. So, and that's a hard thing. That's really tough as a parent to watch that happen with your kid
Mhm.
because they don't want to listen anymore. Because I'm an adult now. I don't have to listen to what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
So,
Wow. That's good.
Raheem,
Yes.
if we could one day, I don't talk, about people personal issues, so to speak, but if we could have a show with men going through the issues that Rico is going
Mhm.
through.
Yeah. Yeah. We can definitely do that.
Part of my prayer is always forgive me for the sins I've committed knowingly and unknowingly. Bless me to be a better father, husband, brother, and friend.
Mhm.
We have to first come to grips and admit that some of us are in these situations because of what we have done
Mhm.
and the mistakes that we have made. And a
Yeah.
lot of times, with helping young men with their children, I usually would sit and talk to them about their views on fatherhood.
Mhm. And Leonard, that's one of the reasons why I love the broadcast we did last night with Real Men Being Men, where we talked about what is a man. Because I love where it went. You know, like I said, we could have gone a lot deeper, but I think where we went to was well deep enough where people understood and walked away with a clearer understanding. But go ahead, brother.
Because it's we keep winding up in the same situation, and it's the reason why our community is in such a dilemma. And you
Mm-hmm.
remember when I mentioned earlier about that term all good?
Yeah.
It wasn't all good.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have to reap what we have sown.
Exactly.
So we have
Exactly.
to be very clear, because I usually always listen to a person's story because there's so many sides of this story. But I also know how to be a corner pointed advocate for children.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people who think they deserve this, that, or the other are not really understanding the entire picture.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow.
Even I tell fathers who, for whatever reason, can't physically be there, write a letter to your child every day.
Mm-hmm.
So when they become an adult and want to know that you can say, well, you didn't think about me. Look at all these letters I wrote you.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know that you were trying the whole time. If someone knocked on my door right now and said, you my father, I'm not going to have no animosity about it or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to sit down and I'm going to go over what has happened and where we going to go next.
Mm-hmm. Good
Helping
deal.
fathers fight for custody and things. I was helping a guy, but you know what? I got the guy a deal. And you know what? He didn't want to do it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of people you go to help, And that's why you have to be careful about, because everybody don't want to be healed.
Wow.
But I know if I was in certain situations and I could only be within 100, I couldn't be within 100 feet of my child would see me 105 feet away, waving at them every day.
Wow. Good deal.
Make
Stay right there.
it hard for the devil
to
win.
Exactly. Let me go to VP. VP, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me. VP, you there?
Nope, sorry. I was helping Friday clean up this stuff. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes. I can hear that beeping. I can hear that door open too. In the background. Beep, beep, beep.
That's cool. Don't cool. So I was looking. Y'all done said a whole lot because I didn't thought of what I was gonna say. We were talking about at one point people's position or helping them when they're in a time of need, not just a mourning phase, but just in general. It made me really think back to, or really realize what I think Miss Cassandra had said earlier when she was like, there was 12 different disciples. So sometimes I think we have this as people today being taught to be a certain way, or colonization of our mindset. We forget that each one of us has a different purpose that's fitting. So, like, for example, Rico was saying that he had got a premonition that something wasn't right about this day. That is Rico's purpose. Like, we're overthinking for that day, not in general for the rest of his life, but his purpose for that day is, you know what, I'm gonna be at this party, or I'm gonna be at this spot, because I have an observational mindset to not to be so caught up in this world or be of this world that I can save those who are in this world. That type of thing. Or I believe in Miss Cassandra, correct me if I'm wrong though, that in Ohio doing the footwork that a lot of us get mad over on social media. People are built to a different caliber to withstand different things, but you need those type of people in your life. It made me think of the scripture. Like I go to scriptures and put myself against them. But in the book of Acts, when the guy was sitting by the beautiful gate and Peter and John walked past him and they looked at him, he didn't have, he was expecting a handout, but they seen something in him that said, you know what, I got to say something to him about this. You are that type of person who allows other people to get on. You may not have the silver and gold to make us get out of the way, but you'll put your hand out and help us get up. And then you put people like Captain Leonard in front of us. You put the Praying Willow in front of us. You got Badger with one of the biggest hearts, because they have to be able to see, regardless of what they've been through, there is always a better silver lining on the other side. Just reach your hand out and we'll help you lift. Doesn't mean we're going to take you all the way through, but we can help and show you some of the matters that's going to help you get over this negativity or get over these strongholds that's keeping you in a position where you don't feel like you can move forward, or you don't feel like your mindset can take it, or you don't feel like you have what it takes to continue to pursue the purpose that God has put on this earth for you to do. Because every time that you try to do it in the will that you have, it seems not to be going in the right way. For some reason, it looks like through the eyes of your eyes, it looks like everybody else has succeeded. And then that keeps you in this failure mindset of like I was saying earlier, my personal reality is now shaping my personality. And now I sit in funk. Now I sit in denial. Now I sit wondering why I can't get no better than who I am. Because all I do is think this is who I am, because I created a personality. Because you will start to shift your world to fit your personality.
Yeah.
So if I, excuse my language, I'm a whoremonger, I'm gonna shift my personality, my personal reality to fit the personality to be a whoremonger, to pick whores. You know what I'm saying? Or if I'm going to rob people, then I'm going to start shifting my reality to be that person who only wants to rob people. And that could be of their time. That don't have to be of their money. That could be of their life, their love. So it's getting out of, or being able to take that hand from somebody who you may not think is supposed to be there or supposed to give you what you're looking for, and have an understanding that once I'm on my feet, it's on me to move step by step. I can't have them push me all the way. Like Christ came to the gate and he was like, get up and walk away. That's a whole different
That's a whole different person
Mm-hmm.
than the one who can just put their hand out and help you be healed.
Wow, that's good. That's good. Man, we covered a lot today. Let me go to Cap. Are you back with us, Cap? I know Cap was on a call a minute ago. Cap, are you back with us? Okay, good deal, good deal. Anybody have anything they want to say or add before we get out of here? It is 10:58. Anybody have anything?
I think it's sort of simple, man. You know, it comes back to the fact that we're supposed to be our brother's keeper.
Yeah.
You know, it's sort of simple that most people will have doubt or negativity because we have to understand that ain't nothing in life guaranteed or promised.
Mm-hmm.
And if you live in a reality, when things are going good, sometimes you have to wonder, is this going to keep going?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, it's going to keep going. Don't be thinking like that. Oh, yeah, ain't no guarantee it's going to keep on going.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Ain't no guarantee.
Exactly.
So some people live in reality. The reason why they are negative, we might perceive it as negative. They might just look at it as being precautious. They might look at it as just being realistic. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good right now, but who knows what tomorrow holds? Who knows?
And is that why people say, is that why people say a lot of times put something up for a rainy day?
Put something up on a rainy day. Exactly. That's all these different things because we don't know what to expect. It's the unexpected. Once again, so people are negative. What we perceive as negative might just be them being realistic and not getting too overconfident.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know I'm going to win the lottery. Ooh, I know I'm going to have a good day tomorrow. Then all of a sudden you wake up tomorrow and you done lost the closest person to you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but I just talked to him last night. But we ain't guaranteed the next day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man. Did I just say that?
Mm-hmm. Wow.
We ain't guaranteed the next day, but see, you ain't guaranteed to leave here either.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you know, I think it's our responsibility, man, as human beings to always try to take ourselves out of it. Understand that in this life, positive reinforcement and consistent assistance is always going to be a necessity for humanity to get the way it should be.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we don't look out for each other, we're not our brother's keepers, and we're willing to dismiss people just because they are aware of the risk and dangers involved, and they messing up the party, messing up the vibe with all that negativity.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah, we might be the ones that's the next victims. Mm-hmm. You know, we would expect to send our children to school, or we would expect to go to a church prayer service and invite a stranger in to pray and not have to worry about getting shot up.
Mm-hmm. Good deal.
But
good
now,
deal.
when you go to church, what you gonna think about?
Mm-hmm. Wow.
The unexpected. You don't know what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
So ain't no guarantees you're gonna be safe when you go to this school. Your children gonna be safe. Ain't no guarantees you're gonna go into church on Tuesday night and have a prayer service and everything gonna be all right. But the best thing to do is be aware of the opportunity for this bad stuff to happen and take precautionary measures. And if you get mad because I bring up the fact that we need to protect ourselves, then y'all pray and call me. I'll do it online.
Mm-hmm. Good
I'm
deal.
gonna do it from the state of my own home.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, it's time for us to get on out of here, man. It's been a great broadcast. Anybody else have anything real quickly they want to say before we get out of here? Real quickly.
Yeah, Raheem.
Question about.
Huh?
Oh, sorry. To your question about how multiple children coming out of the same environment, households are different. I would say it's easy, and it applies to anything, but in the household, it's easy to tear down. It's hard to build up.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So if you discipline all the same to give them that same, you might be tearing one of them down in a way that takes a lot longer to build up than the other.
That's good. That's good. Cassandra?
Yeah, I wanted to piggyback. BP, that was Willa that made the statement about the disciples, but it was right on target. And we have to remember, like Rico said, positive reinforcement is sometimes what we need to give to people. And we just got to remember that we're all different. Mm-hmm. We're all different. We handle things differently, and give space for people to be who they are. We can't sometimes reshape people into who we want them to be. We need to accept them for who they are, and the shortcomings, that is what we need to work on to help the person.
Mm-hmm. Good deal. Anybody else? Good deal.
Raheem, I sent you a notice in Messenger.
Sometimes we
Okay.
just want more for others. Sometimes we want more for others than they want for themselves. So when they're not receiving it, then that's when you got to back off and then put them in God's hand, because that's when that prayer comes in. God, help me to accept those things that I can't change, but help me to change the things that I can, and then know the difference between the two.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Good deal. Good deal. Anybody else? I'm going to go to Rico for 3 o'clock. Anybody else have anything real quickly?
Make sure you share that Motel to Home program that I sent you, Raheem.
Mm-hmm.
And it's for the city of Atlanta, Cobb, Gwinnett, Fulton, DeKalb, Clayton, Cherokee, Rockdale, Henry, Fayette, and Douglas.
Okay.
And it's a program that's directed to try to help people who may be in situations where they're homeless right now. And it's called the Motel to Home program. So if you put that out on your web pages and y'all share that with people that may, can get some help from this program.
I'm trying to get a link from Atlanta so I can actually share it right here, but I don't see a link that I could share.
Okay. I'll try another way.
Okay, good deal, good deal. Yeah, get it to me. That way I want to be able to share it here as well. So everybody be able to go right here and click on it and be able to have it. All right, Rico, what's going on today at 3 o'clock, sir?
I just want to let everybody know too, that ain't that motel in College Park that was in the news a couple of weeks ago. It's a different motel than they're talking about now. So I ain't the same one now. I know which one made the news, but the one they're talking about needs to make the news a little bit more.
Yeah.
If you missed today's show and would like to hear or see the rebroadcast in its entirety, you can tune in at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on www.dkmmediagroup.com.
Good deal, good deal. Been a great broadcast, but I gotta call this name. I don't know if she's still here or not. She might be gone already. Let me see. Willow!
Raheem! Come on, Raheem. Let's go.
I just want to know, Willow, are you ready?
Raheem, I am so ready to receive God's word. Come on, Raheem. Let's go.
Well, Willow, got him one more thing to say. Let's go.
Amen. Father God in heaven, Lord, we thank you. We thank you, Lord, for allowing us to get up, to see another day, to give us opportunities, to give us chances to get it right with you. We, Lord, we thank you so much for loving us unconditional. Father, even when we don't deserve it, you give us grace and you give us mercy. We thank you, Lord, for your word, because your word pre-warns us about things in our lives, Lord. All you ask is that we have a relationship with you, where we may understand, where we may hear your voice and know that it's you that's talking to us, Lord. So, Father, I'm asking you to tear back those layers and those barriers that keep us from you, Lord. Yes. I'm asking you, Lord, to help strengthen us and guide us. Continually allow the Holy Spirit to manifest itself in our lives, where we'll have the proper direction, Lord, from you, where we'll do what you said, Lord. Not so much what we believe what you said, but what we know what you said. We thank you, Lord. We thank you for your word, because you said it in your word that by our faith we're healed. Not anything that we do, the power that we do, but it's the power that you bring through us, Lord. And we trust that power, Lord. Yes. We trust no man, but we trust you. Father, we're continually asking you to continually allow your angels to be encamped around our families, our children, as we constantly go into a wicked and evil world. Father, I believe it when you said that we're in this world, but we're not of it. Yes. Father, I trust those words. I trust you more than anything in this world, Lord. And I'm asking you, Lord. Father, I believe that you are my Alpha and my Omega. Oh, Father. Father, I know that there's none like you. Father, I praise and honor you. And I trust you more than anything in this world. I'm asking you, Lord, to touch each and every last one that's on this land, Lord. Whatever their struggle is, whatever they're going through, Lord. Father, I already believe you know it because you said that you're omnipresent, all-knowing, and all-powerful. So I'm asking you, Lord, whatever it is that they're going through, maybe they didn't even ask for prayer, but I'm praying for them, Lord, because I want them to come back with a praise report saying that they knew there could only be a God like you that was able to do it in their lives, Lord. So I'm asking you, Lord, to show up and let them know that miracles still exist today because of you. Because you live, we can face tomorrow. Thank you, Lord, for the morning glow. Thank you for Raheem and his family. Father, we thank you and honor you and praise you this morning in your Son, Christ Jesus' name. Amen, amen, and amen. Thank you, Lord. Hallelujah.
Amen. See that right there is why VP, he said praying Willa. He said praying, we call her praying Willa. He said, and for praying Willa. I heard when you said that, VP. I heard you, brother. But listen, it's been a great broadcast. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow for being a part of your morning. It is now 10:09. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we are certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple, I want you to go out there, find somebody and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. Now we shine some of this light of you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. If you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great day. Take care of each other. And please, please, please be blessed. Talk to you tomorrow morning. God say the same. Take care of each other. Give somebody some love and truth. They will appreciate it, and I'm sure that you will as well. Have a great day.